GNT. It's the #1 selling testosterone-boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now, and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text EDGE to 321-321. That's EDGE to 321-321. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Something amazing is happening when power outages strike. Teams are powering through them. That's because CDW Solutions architects are building more resilient IT and electrical infrastructures with Schneider Electric. With EcoCare remote monitoring services and 24/7 support, your organization can do more than keep the lights on. Schneider Electric and CDW make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/SchneiderElectric.
Lowe's knows that your business is built on speed and trust. That's why the Lowe's Pro Desk is here to get you what you need the moment you need it. We'll help you plan your project, calculate your materials, and pivot when your job takes an unexpected turn. And with our Pro-only checkout and dedicated Pro parking, you have what you need to tackle your job and be back on the job in no time. Just visit us at the Pro Desk. Lowe's knows pros. We help. You save.
It's time for Sedano and Cap.
A little sabor, and we're going to just nosh.
It is George Sedano. It is Scott Kaplan. Sedano and Cap is on.
I'm going to have to say respectfully, I'm going to disagree.
Okay, why is that?
I don't know.
The LA Afternoon Drive takeover.
He likes to lay the wood.
Yeah. You say Kikuchi.
Wacky forced radio stunt of the year.
Christopher can go to hell.
Oh, nothing worse than the horse.
Nah, man, black don't crack.
Benjamin Pratt is like, how do you say his name? Asminger?
Asminger. Hey, these Hard Knocks guys are all over me right now. It's like I'm in back in Dayton.
You are a bit killer.
Because you got to talk about sperm.
Here we go.
You don't know. You don't know. And you know why you don't know? Because you're gutless, Andy. You're gutless.
Sedano and Cap.
God, I'm going to melt you.
Ba-da-bop.
Boop, beep-da-boop. Bing, ba-da-bop. Ding, da-da-boom.
Cappy, you know who I ran into yesterday at the game?
Tell me.
The young man who could be the #1 quarterback in the NFL draft.
Was that Cam Ward?
Well, it was. I saw him there yesterday. Mm-hmm. He was in the kind of the front row right there near our broadcast position.
Yeah.
I said hello. I chatted him up for a few minutes. I told him congratulations. I'm super excited for his career. And he got in a jersey exchange with Steph Curry, which was cool.
Really?
Steph wanted to talk to him for a little bit.
Nice. Any particular reason, like any relation to the city of Dallas, or
he's a Texas kid.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Where did he start his college career?
Incarnate Word.
Incarnate Word University.
Yeah.
Where do you go to school? ICU. Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. ICU, Incarnate Word, and then to Washington State, and then to Miami.
Correct.
That sound right? And
yeah,
when
he's got one of those. There's like a Netflix documentary that's coming out about him called The Zero Star or something.
Oh,
like that.
wow. Okay, I'd like to see that. I'm interested in him. Hey, by the way, when he did a jersey exchange with Steph Curry, did he give him an Incarnate Word jersey?
No. Well, not a jersey exchange. Steph gave him Steph's jersey.
Oh, I thought it was a back and forth.
Yeah. No, it was just
an exchange.
It was just a Steph exchanging jerseys to him.
Did he have any ice on?
He did have a little bit, but nothing like crazy.
I mean, George, do you know what ice means?
He looked good, by the way. He looked like a little leaner than even when I saw him during the season.
Okay. You do understand the word ice, though, right?
Yes, Cappy.
I mean, I just didn't know if you know. I mean, I know when DeAndre says ice, I mean, I clearly know what he's talking about, but I didn't know if you would know what ice meant. You feel me?
Yeah. So, I mean, who knows? Who knows where he's going to go, right? Like, everyone assumes maybe the Titans. Who knows? Maybe Lindsey's Browns. Who knows where he'll end up?
I will tell you, since you brought this up, that without getting into pre-NFL draft analysis, without having watched any workouts or whatever, and really not even like analyzing every game that Shedeur Sanders played in at Colorado or every game that Cam Ward played in at Miami, if you just said to me, of the two of them, who would you want? I would want Cam Ward.
Really? Why is that?
and this is going to sound weird, but this is just the way I think about things. There was a video, I'm sure you saw it, where Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders were working out together.
Yeah, in the preseason, right.
And Cam Ward says something to Shedeur Sanders. I'm paraphrasing. But he says something like, man, you don't put in the work. You don't try. You don't. Like, he criticized him about his work ethic. Do you know the video I'm talking about?
Yeah, this work ethic,
Yeah.
About at the workout, right, yeah.
And to me, what that said to me about Cam Ward was he was conscious that he had to do something that he thought Shedeur did not have to do. He had to work extra hard because he came from little teeny tiny Incarnate Word and nobody wanted him out of high school. And, playing at Washington State was a big deal for him. And getting to Miami to finish his career and have the kind of season he had, that's a big deal. But, for him to say that to Shedeur Sanders, because you would just think that Shedeur has all the cachet, he's already got the money, he's got a lot of fame, he comes from a rich, famous family. For him to kind of say that to him, to me, I was like, that kid is a leader. And so for me, not analyzing, their games, but thinking that they're both probably going to be good NFL quarterbacks, just based on that alone, I like Cam Ward more than I like Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's fair. You and I can break down the tape, though. You know what I mean? We start. What do you think? We just get some cut-ups. We get some film working. We get DeAndre in there. We get DeMarco in there. Maybe Kirk Morrison in there. And we just kind of cut up some film.
Okay, I'd like to do that.
I like that.
I'd like to do some film study. Sounds good.
We do the film room.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
We could do that on social. That'd be a fun deal. We could do the film room with DeMarco and Kirk.
I think that would be wonderful. Speaking of film rooms, did you happen to see the film that was released yesterday afternoon? I know you were going to the game, but did you see the film that made it all over ESPN LA yesterday of my boxing prowess?
I did. I did see it, Cappy. I thought you looked pretty good.
Oh, yeah? You see how fast those hands were?
I mean, manos de piedras.
I want to just say one thing to everybody who has contacted me. Yes, obviously, we put it in slow motion. Clearly, it was in slow-mo. We wanted you to see how where the punches landed, and how I was using a different angle for almost every punch. So, yes, everybody who has asked, yes, of course that was in slow motion. There's no way, George, I could possibly be that slow, that off balance, that unathletic. No, it was all in slow motion, right?
Slow motion for me. Yeah.
That's a great song, by the way.
It is a great song.
Rocky? Yeah, it's a good theme.
No, slow motion.
No, we were talking about slow motion for me.
Oh, I was talking about Rocky.
Juvenile. What a throwback. Great throwback.
George.
Do you like that?
I want to tell you one thing here as we start today's broadcast.
Tell me one thing, Cappy.
So, you know how I always say everybody's listening?
Yeah, I know. You said you had a story about this. Who was listening today?
So yesterday, Andy Kamenetsky and I are having a conversation about...
Come on, Andy!
Yep. I said to Andy, I go, Andy,
Come on, Andy.
Next week, I got to go to Vegas, okay? Yeah. And I really want to go see the Eagles at the Sphere. Don't know that...
Are they still there?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Don't know that the $500, $600, $700 for a ticket is really within the budget. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I get a direct message yesterday from a member of the band.
Wow.
Says,
no way.
Lindsay, I swear to you. Says,
did he say he's listening?
Been listening for years. And family, all huge 710 listeners for years. In fact, kind of grew up around listening to sports radio and loves the station, huge Laker fan, et cetera, et cetera.
I love it.
And this
so now you're going, you and Rachel?
Said, you got to come be my guest.
I love it.
I
no
said,
way.
Cappy, you see, this is exactly why you are you. You know what I'm saying? This doesn't happen to everyone.
Nope.
It happens to you because everyone knows that you love a good freebie. And I think people like the fact that you love a good freebie and you're kind of shameless about it. So now people are willing to give you some freebies because you're so shameless about it.
What is Debbie going to say about this?
I don't care what she has to say. When this person,
because you're going to the Eagles, right?
You should be paying for it, Cappy. You make enough money.
When this band member invited me to the show, then I started asking for things, right? Like, hey, is it too much to ask for a pre-concert meet and greet?
Here we go.
Can I get an 8-person pass?
Do you want to go out? Do you want to go out after the show and have drinks? Where can we hang out?
Yeah.
But I did say to this person, I said, thank you so much. Flattered that you're listening.
Right.
And super flattered that you're inviting me to the show as your guest. But you have to then let me reciprocate. you must come to a Laker game and be part of the 710 suite, to which this person said, I would love to. So when I tell you everybody's listening, I mean everybody's listening.
Yeah, everybody's
Feel me?
listening. Yeah.
That's pretty cool, Cappy. Like that.
So,
that is
Cappy,
really cool.
I mean, if I'm going to do to you what you do to me.
No. I'm not telling you.
Oh,
who it
you're
is.
not going to tell me?
I'm not going to tell
wait
you
a
who it
second.
is.
You always want me to reveal everything.
Yeah, but you never do.
But I'm going to make you squirm. So was it Don Henley?
What do you think?
Joe Walsh?
I feel like we could figure it out if we look at his Twitter followers, right?
What do you think?
Don Felder?
Yes, it was Don Felder.
Tim
Shout
Schmidt?
out Don.
No, it was Tim Schmidt. Yes, it was Tim Schmidt. That's right.
Bernie Leadon?
It was Bernie Leadon. Yes, it was Bernie.
Well, we know, unfortunately, may they rest in peace, it wasn't Randy Meisner or Glenn Fry, so.
Correct.
Unless they did it from the beyond.
No, but I will just say one thing. I'm a huge Glenn Fry fan.
I
Always
love
have been.
Glenn Fry, dude. You belong to the city.
Oh, yeah. And the other songs that were like.
Heartbeat onto the streets.
Yeah. I loved Glenn Fry as an Eagle, and
The Heat Is On.
loved Glenn Fry as a solo artist,
Yeah.
So
Glenn Fry had a lot of good solo artist music. Yeah.
yes, he did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I grew up on this song.
Love Glenn Fry. Huge fan of Glenn Fry.
Oh. This is like, by the way, the Randy Newman song where we grew up.
It's the politics of contraband. It's the Smuggler's Blues, George.
Smuggler's Blues, a good song.
It's a great song.
Yeah, it is a great song. So.
It really is.
Well, Cappy, good for you. I'm happy for you.
Well, you should be happy for you because here's what we now know. As I have said many times, and I have meant it every time I've said it, everybody's listening.
Well, people should be listening all week to Travis and DeMarco for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to the Genesis Invitational. This year's signature event will be down in Torrey Pines. It'll feature Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Colin Morikawa, and more. So get your tickets today at genesisinvitational.com. But make sure you listen to Travis and DeMarco for your chance to win some free tickets. All right, Cappy, coming up next, let's get into the Lakers. Lakers Jazz. People freaking. Should they be freaking? Because it's almost the freaking weekend.
Wow.
And then we'll get into Matt Stafford.
Wow, you're like Eminem all of a sudden here.
No, I don't know about that. All right, we'll get into all that. Stick around. 710 ESPN.
All right, let me talk to everybody about Prize Picks here for a minute. I made a mistake this morning. I'm going to tell you guys the truth. I did. I made a mistake. Yeah. So today, darts returned. And Luke Littler, who's been I always played Luke Littler. Today, Luke Littler had the more or less number on Luke was 4.5 180s thrown. Okay, and that seems like a lot, 4.5, especially for the opening game and the opening match of the season. So for some reason, I finally said, you know what, I'm going to play less because I'm such an ultimate optimist that I always play everybody more. Yeah. And wouldn't you know that Luke Littler today, I played him less on 4.5 180s thrown. And what did he throw? He threw 5.
Yeah.
He threw 5. And there's a bunch of huge discounts tonight on Prize Picks, all NBA related, because they're giving their flowers. If you look on Prize Picks tonight, you're going to see a whole bunch of NBA players that all have flowers next to their names. I took Shai Gilgeous-Alexander tonight, who would normally have his more or less number be like 25.5, and I got it down to 21.5, something like that. So I tried to play small. I tried to play smart, and you know what? I got burned.
You did. Well, that happens, Cappy. But if you want to get action in the state of California, PrizePicks is the place to be, okay? Download the PrizePicks app. Use the promo code Cappy, K-A-P-P-Y. Your first $5 play gets you a $50 bonus. You can win up to 1,000 times your freaking money with as little as 4 picks, okay? And when you want to get that money back once you win, you can get it back in as quick as 15 minutes. It's as simple as more or less. There's a stat for each individual player in a bunch of different sports, including darts, as you heard Cappy, and it's go more or less. Combo those picks together for more chances to win more cash. Prize Picks. Use the promo code Cappy, K-A-P-P-Y. First $5 play gets you a $50 bonus. Prize Picks. Run your game.
The city of champions just got even brighter.
From Slovenia, Luka Doncic. Luka's rocking the purple and gold, teaming up with LeBron, the king himself.
Here comes LeBron back the other way. LeBron down the middle. Another three. Good again!
And don't forget about Austin Reeves, ready to shine.
Stolen by Austin Reeves. Reeves to the rim. Slam dunk for a new career high.
Catch all the action, all the passion, all the drama, all the big shots.
Doncic dribbling one-on-one against Walker Kessler. Three-pointer over Kessler. It's good! Luka's first three is a Laker, and the place goes nuts.
Follow the Lake Show all season long as they look to make history. Luka, LeBron, and the Lake Show live here.
But how dangerous can this team be?
Very dangerous. On 710 ESPN.
At Children's Hospital Los Angeles, we're a nationally recognized leader in pediatric care, honored by U.S. News and World Report as one of the best in the country. Here, we achieve amazing breakthroughs that change lives. From groundbreaking cancer therapies that offer new hope to young patients, to advanced heart procedures that save lives, we partner with families to conquer challenges and achieve extraordinary outcomes. Choose the best care for your child at chla.org.
Next Gen is the official AC, heating, plumbing, and electrical company of SoCal sports fans. That's right. Next Gen is the absolute best in the biz with thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Clogged drain? No problem. Call Next Gen today to book your $88 drain cleaning. That's right. For just $88, you'll receive a professional drain cleaning to keep your home flowing smoothly all season long. Call 833-3-NEXT-GEN. That's 833-3-NEXGEN for your $88 drain cleaning.
NEXGEN, call 833-3NEXTGEN.
This February, the Genesis Invitational heads to Torrey Pines in San Diego. Be there when moments become legendary. The roars echo through the trees, and champions rise. The Genesis Invitational welcomes the world's best golfers, including Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Colin Morikawa, and more, to Torrey Pines February 13th through 16th for the Genesis Invitational. This is where legends are made. Get your tickets today at genesisinvitational.com.
There are some things you wouldn't mind being stuck with, like a large unexpected inheritance. An always on the verge of death phone that has to be plugged in just right so it charges is not one of those things. Switch to Verizon and we'll pay off your old phone. Up to $800 via prepaid MasterCard so you can get a new one. Just trade in any phone from our top brands on any unlimited plan. With new line on My Plan. Additional terms apply for trade-in and pay off your phone offer. See Verizon.com for details.
Old Spice Swagger Body Wash will make you the MVP of freshness and confidence. With its irresistible scent, it will transform your shower experience, leaving you feeling fresh on and off the field. Pair it with Old Spice Swagger Deodorant, the #1 aluminum-free brand that keeps you feeling like a Super Bowl champion 24/7 when used daily. But don't wait. This dynamic duo is available at Costco for a limited time only. Old Spice, official deodorant partner of the NFL and Super Bowl 59, where freshness meets football greatness.
This is Sedano and Cap for your afternoon drive.
How is that related?
On 710 ESPN.
Oh, come on now, Cappy. I like it like that. Slow motion for me. Slow motion for me. Slow motion for me.
Got my hands up. You can see it on YouTube. I'm feeling it.
Slow motion for me. Slow motion for me.
What do you know about Juvenile, Cappy?
What do I know about what?
Juvenile.
What do I know about Juvenile? I have 4 kids. I know a lot about juveniles.
Oh, jeez.
What did you mean? What did you mean?
The rapper.
Oh, Juvenile.
Yeah, him
the
and
rapper.
Little Tanucci
are on this song.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Lindsay Baseball, are you rocking that big old fat Cavs hat today?
Sure am.
That thing is
Got this in Cleveland in the Cavaliers team shop.
Oh, really?
Sure did.
That's like the new thing right now is the string across the bill. You know, I don't know what you call it, a string, but I don't know what it is.
So it's like a rope.
Parker got one. Yeah, rope. And do you still have the sticker on the bill up top?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that all about?
Well, I
With the
wasn't
price
sure.
tag underneath?
I mean, DeAndre does too on his.
Let me see, DeAndre. You got the sticker on yours?
I'm just,
Is that the thing? Is that what you're supposed to? Oh, yeah, you do. You got your Oakland A's hat on, or your Vegas A's hat, I guess. And the sticker, you're supposed to keep that on? Is that what you're supposed to do?
Yeah, I keep the sticker on all my hats.
Oh,
I feel like I have it on most of my hats that have this sticker on it.
Oh, yeah?
But
Now,
I do have
Lindsay-
the price tag on it, too, because I was unsure about the purchase at the time.
Okay. So
I had to try it on in the store and stuff. And I was like, all right, I'm going to keep it. And then I guess I just never took it off.
So the price tag is under the bill, and the sticker, I don't know what it says, maybe the size or whatever, is on the top of the bill. DeAndre, you got the price tag underneath your bill still, or no?
No, I got rid of the price tag.
Okay, got rid of the
Yeah,
price
just
tag.
the silver sticker.
Correct.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. George, you keep the stickers on your hats?
I do not. I'm not a young person, so.
Mm-hmm. See, I'm not a juvenile, Lindsay. See
But
that? Calling that
a good
back.
one.
Yes, thank you. Thanks so much.
Cappy.
Talk to me.
So let's talk about this game yesterday. So I was able to watch it back on my flight back.
Mm-hmm.
And, interestingly enough, you know what? I'll save this. I'll tell you the rest that story later. So, I get people are bugging out already. Like,
about what?
I don't, like, oh my God, you can't lose to the Jazz. That's one of those games you're going to look back later and go, how did you lose to the Jazz? They'd only won 12 games, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, man, I don't know, man. Like, over an 82-game season, you play the same team twice in like a couple days. Usually the team that loses has a inherent advantage. It's right before the break. Luka's still working his way back from having not played for 6+ weeks. Like, I'm not like super worried. Now, are there things I'd like to see over the next several weeks them improve upon? Sure. I honestly would like to see Luka. I know people are going to say, like, oh, are you calling him fat too? No, I'd like to see him get back into basketball shape. And if you go 6 weeks without playing basketball, you're not going to be in perfect game speed basketball shape. So
Hey, look at Jimmy Butler. He said the same thing about
correct.
himself.
And Jimmy Butler's ripped.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that has nothing to do with what you look like. It has to do with just being having the right wind to play basketball. So I'd like to see that. I'd like to see just kind of defensively, even though they had played well the first game, the Jazz clearly game planned for this one. They were like, we're not getting our ass whooped like that again. So yeah, I'd like to see this, how it evolves. I think I told you when it happened, there will be some ebbs and flows to this. It will not be, a skyrocket, like a rocket ship going one way. Like, there's going to be nights that look like this. So, hopefully as time goes by, there's less and less of them. But I think that there's always going to be some bumps in the road, and, it just happened to be against Utah.
So here's my thoughts on last night's game. First of all, when you say that the Lakers were shorthanded, yeah, it's true. I mean, right?
Jackson Hayes had a laceration.
Jackson Hayes left the game relatively
early. Got to play
early.
with Alex Len, who hasn't played meaningful basketball in Lord God knows how long.
All right, Alex Len was probably like, hey, man, I just got here, and you gave me the uniform. Hey, man, I just got here, babe. And didn't really expect to play, certainly not as much as he played last night, 22 minutes.
No chance. Yeah.
I mean, so look, you lose Jackson Hayes early in the game.
Yeah.
You don't have Gabe Vincent in the game. You don't have Dorian Finney-Smith in the game. And I'm not here to make an excuse that, they didn't have three guys, okay? But those three guys, you got to admit, are contributors. That's the first part of it. Okay, so that's number one. Yeah. Number two, to your point, Luka is going to have to play himself into game shape.
Correct.
Wind, okay, not just weight. But more than that, it's only his second game, and now you're putting in a whole bunch of new pieces. And as much as you'd like him to do what LeBron suggested that he do, which is just go out and be yourself, man.
Which, by the way, he's not. He's clearly deferring. Like that in that game, you could see he was absolutely deferring.
He's trying to fit in, and I understand why he would want to do that, okay? He doesn't want to walk in like some jerk and go, all right, everybody, my team, everybody give me the ball and back out, stay away.
Right.
So I understand him trying to work his way in. But for anybody that will say that last night you can't lose this game to this team, I agree. I agree with you. You losing this game to that team is bad. But here's only the other thing I tell you.
It's not the end of the world.
You're down a bunch of guys, okay, and you're headed towards the All-Star break, and you've played 50-plus games, and the roster has just turned over, and even put it on some of the coach. J.J. Redick last night, they're like, hey, what are you going to do during the break? Find a place to live because my house burned down, and I've been living in a hotel. So for everybody, doesn't it seem reasonable that the entire Laker team turned their mind off last night and said, we just got to get through this. Win, lose, or draw doesn't matter. Just get through this game because we need a few days off because it's been not just 50-plus games and it's not just been roster turnover, but there's been real-life stuff that's happened as well, and everybody
100%.
needs a break. And then
100%.
just one last thing.
You're
You're Utah. You've got some decent players over there. You just don't have a good team. And they got their asses handed to them Monday night.
Right,
and
they're
now
still
they
a
come
pro
home,
team. Yeah,
right,
exactly.
they come home and they're like, hey, we don't want to get beat up like that again, you know? And so when you look at the performance last night from like Lauri Markkanen, you're like, wow, I mean, what a game he had.
Guy's an
last
all-star
night.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walker Kessler played a great game last
He's a
night.
beast. Yeah.
So for me, like I know that like I could be one of those kinds of guys that would look back like if when they lost to Orlando earlier in the year, I'm like, you can't lose to Orlando.
No, Orlando's a good team though.
Well, I'm just making the point that like you're going to look back at the end of the year and you're going to be kicking yourself over games that you should have won that you didn't win. This is one of those games you should have won in theory, but in my opinion, everybody has already gone into the All-Star break.
Yes. No, I'm with you, Cappy. See, I wasn't going to sound alarms or anything like that. It's silly.
I will tell you this, though, just as a fan of sports, not just basketball.
Okay.
I will tell you this. It
Tell
was
me this.
really interesting last night to, you're watching Luka try and integrate into this team. And then I watched your game last night, the Dallas Golden State game.
That was a very good game.
What a great game.
Yeah.
You're watching a guy like Jimmy Butler try and do the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, and you're watching Dallas really try and say, at least my perception watching on TV, to your fan base, hey, guys, we lost Luka. We get it. We understand it. People are
But
pissed.
we're still going to fight here, right?
Right, and we're still going to try and battle to win games. And I was telling Lindsay earlier, Scott Van Pelt, after the game last night on SportsCenter, had an interview with Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
And it was about the sweetest, most professional, least controversial, just sort of basketball human interview. I thought it was great. And like Kyrie actually last night was likable to me last night after that game. And it was a great basketball game.
And his point guard shirt.
Point guard, yeah.
Love that.
Because even Rachel said to me, she goes, what's a point guard? And I went, kind of like
a point guard, like you're from New York,
but
a point guard.
Point guard, he's a point guard. So, yeah, I liked it. That was a good. Those were two good games. Well, let me rephrase. The Laker game wasn't exactly a good game. It was interesting. But the Dallas Golden State game, that was a good game.
Yeah, it was an excellent game. Yeah, it was fun to be at, for sure. That had a playoff-like atmosphere yesterday, for sure.
Any issues getting into the game? You were worried about the fans?
I will tell you that. We'll do that later. I will tell you just kind of what we went through yesterday and some of the stuff. I had interactions with fans yesterday, which I thought were interesting too. We'll get to that later because I do feel like this Luka story, it had some legs still, I thought, yesterday, and will certainly have some legs again once he returns in April with the Lakers. But and they're coming here obviously in a couple weeks, so it'll be interesting how much more mileage we can get out of this particular story. But real quick, it's a Live Nation Ticket Thursday on 710 ESPN. Listen today to us, Sedano and Cap, for your cue to call for your chance to win 2 tickets to the Outlaw Music Festival. Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, Billy Strings, all live at the Hollywood Bowl on May 16th. So get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. All right, coming up next, there's a lot of smoke about Matthew Stafford and the Rams, and will they renegotiate it, or will he go to the Giants? That story's kind of out there. We'll get into all that coming up next.
Mason and Ireland.
Steve Mason and John Ireland.
It is a whole new vibe around this team. It is so fun to be around the Lakers right now.
The biggest show on the radio, weekdays at noon.
On 710 ESPN.
Hey, it's Mace. Looking for some fun and excitement? You got to check out Chumba Casino. It's 100% free to play. No purchase required. Enjoy hundreds of thrilling social casino games anytime, anywhere, like bingo, slingo, slots, and solitaire. Get in the action. Play now for a chance to redeem some serious prizes at ChumbaCasino.com.
Available only to players in the U.S., excluding Washington, Michigan, Montana, Connecticut, and Nevada, and Canada, excluding Quebec. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
You never expect a Hail Mary pass to win and end the game or getting into an accident. Hey, it's Trav with DeMarco.
Only one all-star defense team you can call to defend you. The personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000.
Don't get sacked by others. Joseph will help you achieve the maximum compensation you deserve. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000.
Let Joseph and his team score a touchdown for you.
When it comes to protecting my family's future, I want a life insurance company that's at the top of their game. That's why I got same-day coverage through Ethos. There was no paperwork, no waiting around, and no medical exam. I just answered a few health questions online, and Ethos set me up with a $3 million policy for about $2 a day. Go to tryethos.com and get it done today. That's TRYETHOS.com. TRYETHOS.com. Sample rates as a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Welcome to NFL Flag. In this game, there's a position for everyone. No matter who you are.
Let's go! Show 'em what you got!
Lace up your cleats, smear on your eye black, step out on the field, and start having fun. This is flag football, and this game is our game.
This game! This game! This game!
Visit NFL.com to find a league and get playing today.
1, 2, 3, let's play!
This is Sedano and Cap for your afternoon drive.
Walks around like a little puppy dog.
On 710 ESPN.
Hey, is Kirk Morrison joining us at 4 o'clock? Lindsay, that's for you.
Lindsay stepped out real quick.
Oh,
really? I'll answer for her. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I never got confirmation about that, so that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is this
Be good.
Monica?
It is.
Wow. 1999. Yep, I'm seeing it here. Number 1 hit today. 1999. Monica, Angel of Mine.
Monica, huh?
Yeah. Monica is like in like Brandy. They were like a thing back then.
The Monica Brandy duel. Is that, were these,
I don't
were
know
these-
about
were
about
they
a
bitter
duel.
enemies. Were they?
No, not at all. Actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
I barely
yeah, I mean,
remember.
they did
Monica.
a collab. Actually, they
A
did the
collab?
song. Yeah, and I want to say the year before they did the song "The Boy Is Mine."
The boy is mine. Like you said, the boy is mine, and I feel like I hear Michael Jackson and like Paul McCartney, you know, or is that the girl is mine?
I don't know, man.
The girl
But,
is mine.
Yeah, I mean, what you did. I don't know what you did. But
Gosh darn, girl is mine. Does anybody know? Is that a Michael Jackson song?
You've never heard "The Boy Is Mine"?
Out of my life. That's the only thing I could think of based on what
Yeah.
you're singing.
Yeah, you've never heard "The Boy Is Mine"?
I don't think
I'm
so.
sure DeAndre could find it. But I don't
Yes,
know.
you have.
Okay, maybe I have.
Here, it's right here.
They give a little talking match at the beginning.
Yeah, you got.
I know his name.
You got to let it build up. Yeah, got it going. But once they get the hook, I mean, I feel like you'll recognize it. I mean, it's in your era, Cappy, the late '90s.
Does anybody know if Michael Jackson has a
Here
song?
we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go. Let's hear it.
No, doesn't even ring a bell.
Is this a new song? Is this brand new?
1998, bro. You had a man bun back then.
You're so right, I did, and it was yeah, because at '98 I had the man bun. '99 is when I lost the hand bun,
Right.
the man bun.
By the way, Michael Jackson, "The Girl's Mine" is a song. I just looked it up.
The doggone girl is mine.
Oh gosh, it was one of those songs.
Yeah. So
Oh,
when
man.
George said "The boy is mine," I sang it as Michael Jackson. The boy is mine.
With Paul McCartney. that sounds like a real cheeser.
Boy is mine.
Monica was married to former Lakers star Shannon Brown. That is correct, Biggie.
Oh, really?
Wait, for real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that.
And Brandy went to prom with Kobe.
Right. Anyway, Cappy, look, we don't have a lot of time here, so let's get into it a little bit about Matthew Stafford because Kirk Morrison is going to join us, right? Lynn.
Yep, he's going to join us at 4 o'clock.
Okay, in the next segment. So let's do this real quick. Okay. So there's a lot of chatter, obviously, about Matthew Stafford. Will he re-sign with the Rams? You know, he's got no guaranteed money, right? Like, we're back here again with this scenario with him. But then there's been some chatter, you know, about whether he'll actually come back. His wife said so on the podcast, right? Like on her podcast. And, then there's the Cooper Kupp stuff. And, his brother-in-law is now working with the Giants. So people have linked him like, oh, should he go to the Giants?
The blurry picture that she shared on Instagram.
The blurry picture was like super annoying. And when I say annoying, I'm going to just be honest about it here, okay? When Kelly Stafford puts out a couple of pictures, and she says, hey, our future is blurry. We don't exactly know what it is. We all get it. I mean, we all understand what she's saying, and I just think that it's gotten to be a lot with her being
No, I'm with you. Honestly, it's too much. Like, it's just too much. Like, he clearly seems to be fine with it, and I don't want to tell. Like, I can understand. I'm saying this from, like, if I were the Rams, I'd be like, really? Like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean?
Listen, George, how much time do we have here? Let me tell you something. When this is last week when I was down on Radio Row, there was a day where you had to go do a broadcast, and Kevin Demoff, the CEO of the Rams, and really just all of the Kroenke sports properties, Kevin came and sat down to talk with me because he was promoting the fact that the Rams are going to be playing in Australia. So in the middle of the interview, after he promoted what he was there to promote, I said, hey, man, we got you here. Why don't you give us a few minutes and talk to us about what's going on with the team? Let me play for you 60 seconds of audio of what Kevin Demoff said about Matthew Stafford. And I'm not going to preface an opinion. I just want you to hear it so that I can get your opinion on it. Are you ready to hear this?
So your question for him was, what's going on with Matthew Stafford?
Okay. What's going on with? So let me play Cappy here. Hey, Kevin. So what's going on with Matthew Stafford?
Good job.
Look, I think Matthew, has seemingly indicated, that he wants to play. We've had conversations with him where it sounds like he'd like to come back. I think the way we set it up last year was always, when we worked on his contract last year, and really when we did his first contract, after the Super Bowl, he said he wanted to play 3 years and kind of reevaluate after that. I think, he and his family are going through the reevaluation stage. It looks like they want to play. It was always set up that if he wanted to play this year, it would be a conversation. We don't ever think his contract says he's going to make $23 million on paper. I think we all knew that was just a placeholder to go have future discussions. And, those discussions will start now. The start of the league year is 5-6 weeks away.
Yeah.
We're still a ways away. And obviously he's under contract. He's, a member of the Rams and, grateful for everything he's done. And we'll see how it plays out. Sean and Les are the ones to talk to, those decisions. But obviously Matthew's been great for us with the Rams. And I think we all hope and say we can continue to see that moving forward. We're pretty close this year to playing in this game, and that's a great credit to Matthew and his abilities.
So it sounds to me like someone who's incredibly appreciative of what Matthew Stafford has meant to the organization, but that he's going to let the football people make the football decision, and we'll see if they can come to some sort of agreement. But at the end of the day, they realize he's 37 years old, and it can't be some long-term agreement. It can't hamper the organization moving forward. So they're in this kind of tricky place.
Yeah, there's a part at the beginning there, D. You could probably play the first 10 or 15 seconds where, if you could, just play it one more time. About the first 10 seconds or so. I'll tell you when to stop. Play it again.
I think Matthew, has seemingly indicated, that he wants to play. We've had conversations with him where it sounds like he'd like to come back. I think the way we set it up last year was always, when we worked on his contract last year, and really when we did his first contract, after the Super Bowl, he said he wanted to play 3 years and kind of reevaluate after that. I think, he and his family are going through the reevaluation stage. It looks like they want to play. It was always set up
right there.
If he wanted to play
once he starts saying they, George, they.
Right.
He's not saying he. He's saying they.
He actually said the family.
He did say the family. But I definitely, I don't know why, but I walked away from that interview thinking, I don't feel like the Rams are going to go out of their way to suck up to Matthew Stafford to beg him to come back.
I don't know. Let's ask Kirk about it because I have my thoughts on what I think they should do, okay? And we'll get into that on the other side with Kirk when he joins us. So Kirk Morrison going to join us in just a second. We'll talk about this in just a moment. But first, let me tell you about my friend Jacob at Ronnie. Listen, you get into any kind of accident, you got to call Jacob right away at 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. Tell him Sedano, Mason, and the crew at 710 sent you. Imagine if you're in an Uber or Lyft, sitting in the back seat, driving to your destination, then bam, you're injured in a car accident. But it's not just any kind of car accident. It's an accident with an Uber or Lyft, which is completely different than a normal wreck. Your driver's covered by Uber or Lyft, so not only are you dealing with the other person's insurance, you need to speak with the rideshare company's insurance too. You need an expert, and my guy Jacob is an expert when it comes to handling Uber and Lyft cases, which is why you got to call him at 844-24-JACOB and tell him Sedano, Mason, and the crew at 710 sent you. Years ago, Jacob and his team took on these cases before all the other attorneys jumped onto these things too. Jacob understands the nuances involved in these particular accidents, so if you've been injured in any type of rideshare accident, you got to call him right away. Call Jacob at 844-24-JACOB, 844-24-JACOB. Visit him online at calljacob.com. And by the way, not just a regular accident, but if you or a loved one have been injured or lost property due to the recent wildfires, lawsuits have been filed against those responsible. So please call Jacob for a case evaluation to help review your insurance policy claims, all completely free. Together, we are LA Strong. Call Jacob.
Travis Rogers and DeMarco Farr.
Back tomorrow at 9 a.m. after Clinton and Friends.
The Lakers throttled the Clippers. They throttled the Knicks. They throttled the Celtics. They're doing it not just because LeBron is out of his mind again, which he is, not just because Luka is going to come here and add an offensive level that they, will certainly take advantage of.
Can't wait to see.
They're rebounding and playing defense, and they're flying around.
This is our normal reaction to Laker basketball. We just forgot for a while.
Years.
Usually you watch this team and have a level of excitement. It's fun to watch them. It used to be fun to watch them. The last couple years,
it's been a minute.
It's been a minute that we forgot how to really appreciate what we're seeing. And that's the thing. Are you going to go ahead and put a ring on it? But are you going to trust what you're seeing is not just the fluke, not just the streak? Or is this what this team is?
I'm starting to think it might be what they are.
Weekday mornings at 9 a.m.
It's Travis and DeMarco
on 710 ESPN.
Hey guys, it's Sedano at Los Angeles International Airport. Changes are arriving daily to help reduce traffic, save travelers time, and transform the travel experience. The LAX economy parking structure is now open with thousands of smart parking spaces, as well as hundreds of EV charging stations. Modernized terminals have biometric gates for faster boarding, and in the future, the People Mover train will connect travelers to LA Metro. For more information, go to their website, flylax.com/transforming-LAX. That's flylax.com/transforming-LAX.
Game day excitement starts at Lazy Dog Restaurants. Join them at LA Live before or after the game, or catch the action on TV at any of their locations. Enjoy handcrafted food, craft beers and drinks, and the best seats outside the arena. LazyDogRestaurants.com.
There are some things you wouldn't mind being stuck with, like a large unexpected inheritance. An always on the verge of death phone that has to be plugged in just right so it charges is not one of those things. Switch to Verizon and we'll pay off your old phone. Up to $800 via prepaid MasterCard so you can get a new one. Just trade in any phone from our top brands on any unlimited plan. With new line on my plan. Additional terms apply for trade-in and pay off your phone offer. See Verizon.com for details.
Dell Technologies is celebrating with anniversary savings on their most popular tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 16, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
Hi, this is Sean McVay of your LA Rams. The Rams play here. KSPN, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma brands radio station.
710 ESPN.
Sedano and Cap for your afternoon right now on 710 ESPN.
It's time for what you need to know.
Let's do it. What you need to know right now.
What you need to know is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times. It's the 90 minutes from wherever you are. Take it away, Linz.
Thanks, Sedano. All right, this one's for you, Cappy. Did you know that Scott Hansen is negotiating a deal to potentially leave NFL Red Zone after 15 years there? Yep, that's right.
Wow.
Apparently,
Where's he going?
Front Office Sports reports that his NFL media contract expired following the completion of this past season, and they say that it appears he's off to greener pastures. They say that the front office sports, again, are reporting that the negotiations between NFL Media and Hansen have stalled, and that Hansen has been reportedly negotiating with NBC Universal. So,
it's interesting. So what would he do? Host like Sunday Night Football?
It says that his primary focus would be the upcoming Olympics. The 2026 Milan Cortina Winter Olympics and possibly the 2028 Los Angeles Summer Olympics.
Good for him.
Wow, yeah, it is good for him. I would
It's a big
say
deal.
it's interesting that you bring this up only because I've recently been reading about the potential deal that is ESPN and the NFL Network.
Right, that's been rumored for a while that
Right.
ESPN would acquire the NFL media, which would
Right.
be Red Zone, the NFL Network, and all the ancillary stuff online or whatever.
So keep in mind that if you're Scott Hansen and you find yourself with your contract expired with the NFL's media arm, and the NFL Network and the NFL media is working with ESPN to essentially be gobbled up by ESPN, well, then NFL media is probably not in the position right now to be wanting to give out multi-year, I'm going to think relatively, big dollar type contracts. And if
Right.
you're Scott Hansen, you obviously knew this was coming. And when they say greener pastures, I mean, working for NBC and possibly becoming an Olympic host when you've done such a good job as a studio host for Red Zone, good for him.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean,
Yeah.
that would be good for him.
Very good.
Cappy, you want that Red Zone gig if ESPN buys it?
You know what? I'll tell you, George, I've always loved that show, and it's one of those things that I would love to try. One time, years ago, Fox invited me to come do a audition for their version of the exact same thing, Red Zone, but for baseball, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, that Chris Myers hosts.
And I was like, guys, this is not for me. And they're like, no, just come up and just do it. Just try it. And I was like, if it were football, I don't need you to tell me who the players are. I know who they are by number or by running style or by hairdo or what team they play for. I can do it, I think, pretty much extemporaneously for football.
What?
For baseball,
What was that
I'm
word?
lost. I'm just lost.
Extemporaneously?
Yeah, that's right.
That is not a normal Cappy vocabulary word.
Well, I learned it from George.
I thought maybe you learned it from Clinton. That's totally a Clinton word.
Hey, kiddo, let me tell you something. Clinton does use a lot of big words, okay? Clinton does use a lot of big words. And then
I apologize to Clinton Yates. His producer reached out to me about coming on today, but I was
You hear
flying
that, Cappy?
when,
You hear that, Cappy?
Wow, so far, think about this, George. Clinton and Friends.
Started on Monday.
Has so far featured your best friend, Joe Fortenbaugh, okay? And now you, and I get nothing, man.
Well, it didn't feature me because I couldn't go. I was flying.
They attempted to feature you.
Did they attempt to feature you yet?
Not
I
me.
feel like you got a bone to pick,
I'm
Cappy.
a nobody, I'm not
That's your
I'm
guy.
not seen on ESPN TV.
I was appreciative that I was asked to be on the first week, but unfortunately, if they'd let me use the phone on the plane, I would have done it, but they don't let me do that.
Yeah. But they didn't let you, huh?
So, yeah. Well, and I needed to get home. I was tired, man.
Yeah, I understand. Hey, listen, I tell you all the time, okay, that I respect the hustle, dude. And not only do I respect the hustle, but I do want to talk to your boss at ESPN's NBA coverage. What's that guy's name?
Tim Corrigan.
I want to talk to Tim Corrigan. Okay? I think it's a little too much at this point.
Where's Kirk Morrison, by the way?
Yeah.
Is he there
Oh,
yet?
yeah, let me call Kirk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. So in the meantime, let's talk about Matthew Stafford while Kirk comes on. So here are my thoughts. Okay.
Let me hear.
I'm not breaking the bank for Matthew Stafford at this
Agreed.
stage. Okay.
Agreed.
I'm
Check.
not. And the reason being is forget the ancillary stuff, right? Like about like the stuff with his wife and the podcast and all the passive aggressive stuff that she potentially puts out there or whatever.
What do you mean
let's not. Let's not. Well, I'm saying even moving forward potentially is what I'm saying. So let's not even do that. Okay. I just think that at 37 years old, there is going to eventually be a decline, right? Like you have to bet against that, especially when a guy has had that many injuries in his career. So if he doesn't negotiate to the number that I'm comfortable with, if I'm the Rams, this is my plan. I'm signing Sam Darnold for a short-term deal, 2 or 3 years, whatever it is, and I'm drafting my next quarterback in that window. And I'm grooming that quarterback. Maybe I draft more than one quarterback over the next couple of years and just see kind of what pops, right? Like when Washington did it with RG3 and Kirk Cousins. So that would be my alternative if Matthew Stafford doesn't come in on the number that I would be satisfied with if I were the Rams organization. And that's not anything other than business. Now let's bring in Kirk Morrison, who's going to talk business with us. Kirk Morrison, what do you think of my plan there?
I got the tail end of it, and I think that you said something to which that you're going to negotiate with Matthew Stafford. And if
I got a number. I got a number in mind. Right, I got a number in mind. If he does not fit within that number, if he doesn't want to agree to that number, then I'm moving on and I'm taking Sam Darnold for a couple years, and I'm drafting quarterbacks over the next couple years and figuring it out.
Right. I mean, that could be one option. I like that option. I just love how all of this stuff comes out the week after the Super Bowl. I mean, the biggest evaluation hasn't even started yet. I'll be there in a couple weeks is when we go to Indianapolis for the Combine. Mm-hmm. That's where the true negotiations are starting at. And we don't know how these quarterbacks are going to rank. We're not even talking about Shador and Cam and Dylan Gabriel and Jackson Dart. You know what I mean? Like, give us a couple weeks, and now all of a sudden you'll have better information on maybe how the Rams want to go about this. What they did was always say, who was the source? You know, who's the source? Who brought this to our attention, by the way? You know who did that, George, Cappy?
Tell me.
Who brought this interesting news to us? It was Colin Cowherd said it on his show. And everybody said, ooh, wow. And I've always said that, you know what, tell me who's the source first, and I'll let you know how I really feel about it. And I'm not saying anything against Cowherd, but somebody wanted this to get out. Now, was this on the Rams side or was this on an agent side? Okay? Is the agent trying to stir up some things right now? Because I'll tell you this, the New York Giants, after what they went through for trading away Saquon Barkley, and they trade away the third overall pick to the Rams, and that player becomes a Hall of Famer, like, you're getting fired tomorrow, Brian.
Oh, right. No, right. The Giants can ill afford to screw this up. Correct.
They can't screw this up. Like, they have the mystery box at pick number 3. They're going to pick somebody. They're not going to trade that pick away. So, yes, it sounds great on the surface, but it's just not going to happen. What I see is the Rams are going to sit down and take their time. And, look, Les and Sean McVay, this is what they do. And then, like, is Sean McVay turned into, like, the new Leo DiCaprio, by the way? You know, I thought about that.
Well,
because it's like, what I mean is that it's like every 4 years he needs a new quarterback.
Yeah.
He had 4 years with golf. I was like, okay, I'm done. And then he's got 4 years with Matthew Stafford. It's like, hey, I'm done. I need my next. You're right.
New
he's
toy.
On to the next.
Yeah.
So is he DiCaprio? Is he like what Russell Crowe? Is he was it Gerard Butler? I mean, I'm going back in the day, but you remember these guys, these bachelors, every 4 years.
I feel you, dog.
They've got a new girl on their arm. And for McVay, it's a new quarterback on his arm. So I feel like the expiration date has come up on Matthew Stafford. He's done great, but the Rams are always forward thinking. They're never in the present. They're always forward thinking. And I say that and I pass it back to you guys because of what they did, and no one talks about how they were able to do the 2-year process of replacing Aaron Donald.
That's right.
They drafted guys before he was gone.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
They drafted 2 guys after he was gone.
That's right.
And look, they were able to transition a position that is now the strength of the team, even though the Hall of Famer, first ballot Hall of Famer, was retired right before the season.
And remember, what people were saying was Aaron Donald is not replaceable. Well, guess what? Yeah, he was. And here's what I mean. I don't mean individually. I just mean that what they did is you're right. They drafted 2 guys the year before. You just brought it up. They drafted 2 guys this year. One of those 2 guys turned into the NFC Defensive Rookie of the Year. So collectively, they did replace Aaron Donald. Yeah. Their team wasn't going to fall apart because Aaron Donald wasn't there. And they could probably feel awfully confident that they're not going to fall apart if Matthew Stafford isn't their quarterback, because if Sean McVay's as great a coach as we all think he is, he's going to get another quarterback. Could be a Sam Darnold. Could be somebody else. No guarantee that Sam Darnold's going to come to the Rams. But regardless.
I don't want – listen, I heard you mention Cowherd. Cowherd also mentioned bringing Aaron Rodgers here. And let me tell you something. That is a ridiculous idea. That ain't happening. Okay? No chance in hell. Okay? They kicked the tires on that a couple years ago. That ain't happening. Okay? And listen, I love Colin. I've known him for years. We work together. Yeah. I think that is one of the most ridiculous ideas he's ever thrown out there in the history of doing talk radio.
But hold on. Remember what Kirk is saying, and I think Kirk is right. Whether it's an agent or a team, somebody gave him that little nugget knowing that he would be a blabbermouth and go on the radio and spit it all out. That's what I would do. You know,
Thank you, Kathy,
of course
right?
you would
For
do
real.
that. Yeah,
But
you
listen,
and Cowherd are both yentas.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. This is to me is the way it works. You know, like for example, I saw this report the other day that Shams had about I don't know, some NBA story, and it was like a week and change. It's like they're now reporting this. And it's like, yeah, they're coming to you because they know you're going to go report it on TV because they're in damage control mode. So agents and teams, when they want things out, they manipulate the media, and the media is happy to be manipulated because they think that they have something that nobody else has. So I'm with you, Kirk. I mean, to me, somebody put that out there so that Big Mouth would go out and say it all over the radio, which I could understand because I'm a Big Mouth too.
And now all of a sudden you have the Giants who have to put out a statement. And remember, the Rams are the quietest team ever. Like they don't go out and yell from the rafters like this is what we're about to do. No, the Rams do things quietly. Just how they acquired Matthew Stafford. They did like thieves in the night. No one expected that. So why would they do that now? But look, this is an off season where there are some possibilities for the Rams to go out and get a veteran quarterback, or could Sean McVay draft a quarterback in the second round? Or is there a quarterback that may drop to them a couple spaces? Like, there's still so much time in between now and the draft, but we also have to worry about what's going on with the new league year because now you have money that will be on this year's salary cap. There's the reason why. See, think about this. They trusted Cooper Kupp. They trusted him and said, hey, and how many teams said, hey, big dog, we love you, but we're gonna try to trade you. Cooper Kupp broke the news. The Rams didn't say, hey, Cooper Kupp is up for trade.
You know why?
No,
you know why?
They respectfully told him, and then Cooper Kupp said, hey, everybody, get in an Instagram post, hey, y'all, they said they trying to trade me. Oh, no way. Like, come on, that's not how the Rams
Listen, man,
work.
you know why? Because Les Snead and Sean McVay, they move in silence like lasagna, okay? That's why.
Like
lasagna. Man, you messed it up, man. You messed it up, dog. Come on, George. How you messed that up? How you messed that up, George?
Come on, George.
How you messed that up?
Come on, George. I mean, what is
real G's.
That's what I'm saying. They move in silence like lasagna.
No, they move in silence like the G in lasagna. See? You
Come on,
remember
George.
That part.
Come on,
real
man.
G's move in silence
Honestly,
like the G in lasagna.
That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing.
The real G moves in silence like the G in lasagna. You never say that.
Come on,
I got a question for you guys. I promise you.
That's embarrassing.
For me, I really want to know this, and I need your help.
Andy.
Okay, I need your help, guys. How come I never learned what an atmospheric river was in high school? I feel like over the last 2 years, I know what an atmospheric river is, but for some reason, I never knew this. 30, 40-plus years of education, and all of a sudden Los Angeles has these atmospheric rivers. They fall from the sky. Am I just new to this, or did I miss something?
No, did you take meteorology in high school?
No, I did not.
Okay, well, there's the problem.
Okay.
I mean,
So
anybody
California
who took
has always
meteorology.
had atmospheric rivers.
Oh, everybody
I did
took
not take
meteorology.
meteorology.
Oh,
either,
everybody knows
I didn't know anything about an
atmospheric
atmospheric river until recently either.
Sure,
So
it's
Is this one of those classes you had to take this to stay eligible at Pitt, Cappy?
That's right, where they just sort of passed us, you know, and then they told us, they go, if you remember one thing from this class, just remember atmospheric river. And I'm like, thank you. Thank you very much. I remember that. No problem.
Yeah.
I got that. Yeah, it's, I do love all the
listen, man,
terminology.
I would just say to Matthew and Kelly Stafford, thank you for the time. If it don't work out, cool. Sam Darnold will work just fine for a few years.
Just don't assume
it's a
that
couple
Sam
guys out
Darnold's
there,
like an
Sam.
automatic.
I'm just saying, like, it doesn't have to be him. I'm just saying, like, he clearly is available, right? So, like, he'd be fine. If you told me Sean McVay had to roll with Sam Darnold, okay?
I have no problem with that.
Right.
And they can get some sort of draft compensation for Matthew Stafford and find a way in what I think, and Kirk, you would know better, that I think is a good receiver draft, okay? Like, you can plug in a receiver, maybe a deep threat to go alongside Cooper Kupp. I'm sorry, alongside Puka Nacua. Like, I'll take my chances with that, and you could find another one maybe in free agency, another veteran-type guy. Like, I think you can build a nice squad to win with Sam Darnold.
Darnold would be a great guy to have. Real quick, Kirk, would be a great guy.
Bring
to
him
have
back to L.A.
For
the
a
pride
few,
of San Clemente.
But for a few reasons. One, his knowledge of the Niners, which would be a nice little thing to have. The other part
By the way,
of
his knowledge of the system, too.
Well,
it's
there you go.
Kevin
the
O'Connell.
system. Because Kevin O'Connell was running the same system using the same language in Minnesota that he learned from Sean McVay in L.A. So for those two reasons right there, Kirk, that Sam Darnold will be a very nice guy to have. Plug in.
I agree with all of that. My only thing is I keep – what is the market for Matthew Stafford? I think that's why they're trying to drum up a market. Again, I go back to the messenger. Oh, look, they're trying to get New York involved. I honestly believe that there is no market for Matthew Stafford outside of Los Angeles. You tell me where he fits at. Tell me. Let's sit down and talk to these 31 other teams.
I got
Well, and I would ask Matthew
where
Stafford
does
this.
he fit at?
Do you want to go to a bad team?
I'll tell you where he goes.
Exactly. Well, I mean, you tell me a team right now that's willing to take – because he's not going there for under 40. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, he wants at least $40 million. You want to tie $40 million up on Matthew Stafford? I'm not saying that he's a bad quarterback. I think he's
No,
perfect
he's still good.
for the Rams
But how
right
much?
now.
How
He's
much
still
longer?
Good, but what team?
Right.
Yeah, but
I'll
how
tell
long?
you.
Like,
I've already got the
is
team.
Where's
And by the
market?
way,
who's the team?
Let's say it is the Giants, right? Let's just
Yep.
say, for argument's sake, it is the Giants in a division with the defending Super Bowl champions and a Washington team with one of the best young quarterbacks that we've had in a long time.
And
like,
a Dallas
okay.
team. And a
And
Dallas
the
team.
Cowboys that are always going to try to be competitive, right?
Right.
Yeah, like, good luck.
Hey, you want to know? You want to know where Matthew Stafford would be perfect?
Where?
For $40 million? Because they have the money and they have the coaching staff. You want to know where he'd be great?
I know where you're going. Go
Minnesota.
ahead, say it. Go ahead. No, Vegas. Yep, I already knew it.
Oh, no. Raiders.
Yeah. I mean,
Come on, man.
No, I'm serious.
Is he there to set the table? Like,
Yeah.
what is he going to do?
He's
is
there
Pete
to
Carroll
help.
Gonna
For
bring
who?
in-
For Jackson Dart?
He's there to help Pete Carroll for 2 years.
I mean, Pete Carroll can go back to why wouldn't Pete Carroll go for Russell Wilson, a guy who he knows?
Nah, I don't think that relationship ended so well in Seattle.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, Russell Wilson's going to be out there. Justin Fields is out there. There's a lot of options. I don't know if would Matthew Stafford go to Las Vegas for what? Is he competing for a championship this year? No.
Like
you're going to the Raiders for the love of the game. The Rams give you the best opportunity to win a championship,
Correct.
or one more championship, or get to the playoffs.
Correct.
He's not just hanging around just because he's trying to resurrect his career. He's got 1 year left.
Yeah.
2
Well,
years
and to
max.
your point, there's
He
just
went
not a
into the
lot.
Giants.
There's not a lot of spots for him, right? I mean, there really
ain't
isn't.
no spots. Like, really, like when you really sit back and you like, wait.
Hold on. Let's
So
just do the exercise. Let's do the exercise very quickly, right?
Where's he
Dallas is
going?
not moving off Dak. They just
Nope.
paid him, right?
Nope.
Just paid
Philly,
him.
no.
Yep.
Washington, no. Chicago,
Nope.
no. Detroit, no.
Nope.
Green Bay, no.
Nope.
Minnesota,
Nope.
they're going to go with McCarthy, I presume, right?
Yep, McCarthy. Yep, that's why they
All right,
drafted him in the
Atlanta,
first round last year.
Nope. Atlanta, Penix.
Michael Penix.
Bright.
Nope.
Carolina's
Penix,
not moving
yeah.
off Bryce Young now after
Nope.
after he played pretty well.
He ain't going there.
Yeah, I guess New Orleans, Derek Carr, maybe.
Yeah, but
okay.
why? I mean, it's a slight upgrade, but it's an old guy for an old guy. You know?
Maybe. Okay, let's just give it in the maybe category, right?
All right.
Tampa, no, they're not moving off Mayfield. Arizona's not moving off Kyler.
No.
San Francisco.
No, they got to pay Purdy. They got to pay
Right.
Purdy because they're
And
not
then
going to let him go.
Seattle, I mean, Gino's under contract,
And they've
So
already
yeah,
said
in
that
the
they love
NFC, there's
Gino.
not very many good options, is what I would say.
And it's
Raiders.
the same thing in the AFC,
Right.
outside of the Jets.
Raiders.
Like, really?
What about the Browns? And I'm only saying that because they need a quarterback. They probably couldn't make it work financially, right?
Okay. So so think about it. The Browns have their own problems with with Myles Garrett. So they got to figure that part out.
I think Myles
Bringing
Garrett would
Matthew
stay, though,
Stafford
if they
is-
brought in Matthew Stafford, don't you think?
No.
Damn.
No, trust me. You bring in Matthew Stafford, what does that do to that team? It's a better fit where he's at now. So maybe either you're going to take less or go out there. Go see what them streets look like. That's what they always say.
Well, you're
on
bringing up a great
Valentine's Day.
point. I mean, the Rams do hold all the leverage. Seriously.
Correct.
And Matthew Stafford might think, well, let me rephrase that. Kelly Stafford might think that they don't have the leverage, that the Staffords have the leverage. What are they going to do at quarterback? Don't we all trust in Sean McVay that he would. If you could take Baker Mayfield, fly him across the country, and have him win a game with no practice, I mean, don't we all think that Sean McVay is this quarterback whisperer that can? Yes. I'm not saying take anybody and turn him into a great quarterback, but you could take a guy who's in the NFL and probably turn him into a very serviceable quarterback.
Yeah, I'd take Sam Darnold if you get and you give me one more weapon in the receiving core at somebody that can take the top off of defense. I'm good. Like, I'm straight with that, like, if I'm the Rams.
I'm just saying, Andrew Whitworth is going to tell Kelly Stafford, do not go to Cleveland. If you think Cleveland is where you want to go or somewhere else, like, your best bet is in L.A., and it don't get no better than that right now. So kind of come to some common ground and find a way to at least piece it together, give the Rams the opportunity to draft your heir apparent, but trying to be traded or trying to go somewhere else is just not going to – it ain't going to work out. I'm just telling you.
I just think that they feel – this is just an opinion. I've not talked to them, so this is just an opinion. I feel like they think that it's insulting that Matthew is not, one of the top paid guys. Dak Prescott's making $60. Joe Burrow's making $55. A guy like Trevor Lawrence making $55 million.
But they're all way younger than him.
100%.
Yeah, but
Jordan
the Rams
Love,
they don't like old guys. Just be come on, Captain.
I mean,
like
Jared
Rams,
Goff making 53. I mean, they're looking at this and they're going, why don't we, even in the short term, why aren't we making that kind of money?
Cappy, before the season started, they traded away their middle linebacker in Ernest Jones because he wanted money. And they were like, nah, bro, we cool. We good. We'll take care of it. We all right. And what did they do? They went out and had an undrafted player, Omar Spates, take over. Christian Roseboom starts. And, oh, by the way, this team is literally a play away from beating the champion Eagles in the divisional round. I can't look. Sean McVay, Les Snead, these dudes are masterminds. I'm not going against what they do. They have a plan. They have a number. If you don't fall in line with that number, it's up. They literally called Cooper Kupp and said, hey, big dog, appreciate all your hard work and effort, but we good. Like, think about that. Like, we cool. We good. Man, that's whew.
Hey, listen.
That's a tough call. That's a tough call.
Football is a cold business. We all understand
yes.
it. And we all kind of think of guys like Cooper Kupp and go, well, he's been so great for the team. He deserves this, or he should stay longer. No, nobody cares. Very few guys in any sport get what Kobe Bryant got or got what Derek Jeter got, where you were so important to the organization's history that even though you are history, we'll pay you going forward because we love you and appreciate you that much. Cooper Kupp does not fall into that category. Sorry.
Correct.
I'm just laughing because I remember when Draymond Green yelled out to Paul Pierce. Remember that one, George?
They don't love you like that.
They don't love you like that? What, you thought you was Kobe? They don't love you like that. When Paul Pierce thought he was going to get the farewell tour from the NBA, from all the cities he visited on his last year, they was like, "Hey, Mister,
he was with the Clippers, right?
You. I mean, yeah, it was like,
it wasn't even.
Man,
if he would have been maybe with the Celtics, maybe you know what I'm saying. But like, yeah.
What, you thought you was Kobe?
So let me ask you guys this then. Make a prediction today. Look, it's today's February 13th. We have a long ways to go until we get back to football.
I think
season.
he's back for one more year.
Okay, I do too. Kirk, you think is Matthew Stafford the starting quarterback of the Rams for the next football season?
For the next football season, yes. Like I said, they're going to draft a quarterback maybe in the second round, or they may find someone who Cooper Kupp that can possibly get them a fourth rounder, make that nice and juicy, maybe go up a couple spots in the first round if a quarterback is there. But they're still going to go with Matthew Stafford for 1 year. I just don't see – there's just not a place to trade him. Remember, that's the last thing, and I got to go. I got to get into this atmospheric river to grab my son. But I'm going to tell you this, guys, again. Hey, Matthew Stafford is under contract.
He is.
It's not like he's a free agent. He's under contract. So with that being said, the Rams get to choose where he goes, or like they have been, say, hey, we're going to find the best spot for you and your family. So they won't do him dirty, but there is a number, and if that number ain't where you at, got to go. It's the same thing with Sam Darnold, too, because that's something also that the Vikings were dealing with as well.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
All right, go into the atmospheric river.
All right.
All right.
I'm out.
Be
oh,
careful.
my God. Oh, it's raining. I got to go. Oh, my God. No umbrella. All right, I'm out.
All right, peace.
Yeah, what is this? What is this precipitation falling from the sky that I don't understand what this is?
I mean, it's nice that we get some rain. It is nice. But,
it was bad driving up today, though. Ooh.
Oh, my God. People are driving like morons. They honestly
my
don't know
goodness.
how to drive in rain. It's really, really annoying.
Oh, dude. Shout out to our marketing consulting team at ESPN 710.
Yeah.
At 9 a.m. this morning, I met with 3 of our people who drove all the way from L.A. to La Jolla to meet with an ad agency that's based in South L.A., and I was like, you guys really did come down here, took a 2+ hour drive in morning rush hour and all this rain? So shout out to all of our people, Sam, Mark, Deshay. Respect on the hustle, you guys.
I'm sure the audience, I respect their hustle too, but I'm sure the audience really was riveted by that.
You know what? You don't have to be riveted by it, but you do need to understand that when it's raining like a mofo like it has been, most people are like, hey, can we do this next week when it's nice out?
Hey, listen, mofo, why don't you tell us about Seller's Advantage? Now that's going to help our audience because that's something that'll help them.
It sure will. Hey, Seller's Advantage, let me just tell everybody this. I hate to be like so opportunistic, but if you've ever considered selling your house and you're like, yeah, I'm not thinking about it, but I'm not sure, you understand how many people in L.A. County right now are looking for new homes. They've been displaced. You know the story. So if ever there was a time to say, I'm on the fence, I'm kind of thinking about it, I'm not sure, now would be a great time. And here's why. Because Seller's Advantage can come to your home, they can walk around, take a look, and then they're going to make you a competitive cash offer. What does that mean? It means that they know exactly what the house next door sold for, and they know what the house down the street sold for. But now you don't have to paint the walls. You don't have to fix the floors. You don't have to change anything. You don't have to take out your furniture, have it staged. You don't have to hold an open house. They're going to make you a competitive cash offer, and then it's up to you. Do you like the cash offer? Sold. It's going to happen fast. You don't have to worry about anything falling through. They pay cash money. They'll even incentivize you, give you $10,000 like, hey, let's move this thing along. Let's hustle up. Let's get you out. So I'm just telling you right now, this is the best way to sell your house fast and reliably where you don't have to worry about the deal falling through. Call today for a no-obligation offer, 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-2747, or visit them online at sellersadvantage.com.
The biggest show on the radio.
Mason and Ireland, weekdays at noon.
So when I brought up Lakers championship, Juan looked at me and said, "You are stupid." He said, "Put that in ChatGPT." Here's what came out of ChatGPT.
Well, what did you type in?
Is Steve Mason from ESPN stupid?
Okay.
Okay.
No.
Steve Mason, the ESPN radio host, is known for his strong opinions and lively debates, especially on Mason and Ireland. Whether you think he's stupid probably depends on how much you agree or disagree with his takes. He's been in sports media for a long time, so he clearly knows how to keep an audience engaged. Then he said, put in this question. Is he overly optimistic? This is what ChatGPT said. Yeah, Steve Mason definitely leans toward the optimistic side, sometimes to the point where it feels delusional, especially with LA sports. So his takes can be pretty biased. If he's hyping up a team beyond reason, that's just kind of his thing.
Steve Mason and John Ireland, tomorrow at noon.
Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN.
Listen all week to Travis and DeMarco for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to the Genesis Invitational. This year's signature event will be at Torrey Pines and will feature Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Colin Morikawa, and more. Get your tickets today at genesisinvitational.com.
Is your heating and AC system ready to power through the season? Whether it's keeping your current system in top shape with a quick tune-up or replacing an old system, NextGen is here to help keep your home safe and comfortable. For a limited time, NextGen is offering ESPN LA listeners a heating and AC tune-up for just $88. Their expert technicians will make sure your system is running safe and smooth so you can enjoy total home comfort all season long. If it's time for a replacement, NextGen can help with that too. They offer professional, full system replacements with the latest energy-efficient models to help you save your money and keep your home at the temperature that feels just right for you. We're here for you 7 days a week because your family's safety and comfort are always our top priority. Don't wait. Call 833-3NEXTGEN. That's 833-3NEXGEN to schedule your $88 tune-up today. And don't forget, if it's time for a replacement, NextGen can help with that too.
NEXGEN. Call 833-3NEXTGEN.
Hey,
Bethel Duran. When you get into an auto collision and damage your vehicle, there's only one spot for you to call. That's my guy Leo at Active Collision. Experienced paint and body technicians will make your car look like it's brand new. You get a free estimate when you call 626-330-0100. They work with all insurance companies. Mention 710 and you get 50% off your insurance deductible. Call 626-330-0100, 626-330-0100, or visit ActiveCollisionRepair.com.
One of LA's best kept secrets in the heart of Los Angeles, East Central Hotel offers effortless accommodations and unparalleled accessibility. The East Central Hotel is for everyone looking for entertainment with their trendy spacious rooms, a renovated gym, and a patio lounge for breakfast, dinner, and drinks. Stop by their incredible Nixo Lounge before your next event at LA Live. Book your stay at eastcentralhotel.com or call 213-748-1291 today at Entertainment's official address.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/LA. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/LA right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/LA. ZipRecruiter.com/LA. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
So Mark Real from Real Fathers writes, I always say on the air, you have to have the right family law firm that is going to get you the happiness you deserve and the justice you deserve.
Really, the legal system is designed and set up for fathers to fail. I set out to create a firm and to create something that would help all men navigate that successfully.
We have a new phone number for Real Fathers Rights.
833-ESPN-710.
And RFR710.com.
Yes, RFR710.com.
Looking to enhance your home with the latest in audio, video, and smart home technology? Don't go anywhere else but Mir Audio Video in Westwood. For over 40 years, Mir has specialized in all things smart home solution with companies like Lutron and Crestron. For innovation, reliability, do what we do. Choose Mir Audio Video. In light of the recent fires in LA, Mir is here to assist, providing guidance to your insurance company as needed. Visit MirAudioVideo.com or call 310-234-4010 today.
Hey guys, it's Cap. Here's the scenario. Your home is flooded and the damage is severe. Now it feels like your insurance company is turning on you. They won't approve a replacement living arrangement, and the adjuster leaves you in the lurch. Take a breath and call Avner Gatt, one of Southern California's largest public adjuster firms. Avner Gatt knows how to fight back when your insurance company makes you feel like a criminal, leaving you with no hope of getting into your home and getting it all back together. With decades of experience and a passion for helping people, Avner and his family take the call themselves. So whether you have a toilet overflow, a broken water line, a burst supply line, a broken fire sprinkler, whatever the water damage is, you call Avner Gatt today at 818-917-5256, or you go to avnergatt.com. It's 818-917-5256 or avnergatt.com. You call Abner answers. He says, hello. Your claim is our game. AbnerGat.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent are required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could beat lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text YOUTH to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone-boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now, and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text YOUTH to 42424. That's YOUTH to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
And it is Sedano and Cap. Around 5:30 p.m. in the Southland Radio Tinder time, we like to play a TV theme. You can follow her at Lindsay Baseball on Twitter or Instagram. Don't forget about our sponsor, Tequila Mandala. Always swipe right on Tequila Mandala. Take it away, producer Lindsay.
We listen all week long. Everybody out there to Travis DeMarco for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to the Genesis Invitational. This year's signature event will be at Torrey Pines. And it'll feature Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Colin Morikawa, and more. So get your tickets today at genesisinvitational.com. Go ahead, Liz.
Do you guys know this song? It's from like my favorite game show growing up, Double Dare. My
yes,
dream.
I do remember the slime. Yeah.
Yes, my dream was to be on the show.
Me too. I used to like that show.
I would my friends and I, it was me, my siblings, and then the neighbor kids, and we would make boxes of we try and make recreate the Double Dare games and make the slime. And all the different, oh my gosh, what a great show. I always wanted to be on it. Cap, you a fan of Double Dare?
I mean, I know the show and I liked it, but if you gave me the choice between Double Dare or what's the name of that show, George, where the guys do all the obstacle courses? Brian Anderson was the host of the show. What was the name of that show? Wipeout.
Oh,
yeah.
that's for grown-ups, though.
Yeah, that's like adult. That's like an adult version of Double Dare.
Yeah. Oh, well, they had Guts, too. That was also the kids' version of Wipeout. Guts, where they had to get on the aggro crag. And they had the referee, and she was, British, and her name was Mo. And she'd be like, who's up on the leaderboard?
Oh, you got me on that one.
She was, yeah, it was a good show. Mike was his name. He was on ESPN, too. I forget the guy who hosted that show. Mike something. Anyway.
Mike Stevenson?
No.
Jackson?
No.
Mike Jones?
Jones? Is it Jones?
Mike O'Malley.
Oh, Mike O'Malley.
You know who
Mike
he is,
O'Malley.
right?
He was the what was the name of the character that he played when he did all those commercials? The come on, George, you know this.
No, I don't. I have
yeah,
no
you
idea.
do.
No, I don't.
They called him by his name, but it was the something.
You're messing with me, right?
No, I promise
Schwab?
you. Mike O'Malley. No, Mike O'Malley.
Stump the Schwab?
Not
No,
the
I have
Schwab.
no idea.
The-
Whatever, man. I have no idea what we're talking about. Can we just play Radio Tinder?
Everybody play Radio Tinder. George is a little testy today. You know, he's road weary, this kid.
No, it's just I don't know what you're talking
No,
about.
you know
so
everything. So I refer to you. I go, George, you know this. I don't know what you tell me. Well, you see how much credit I give you?
I appreciate it, but I don't know. So can we just move on?
He was on a show called Yes, Dear.
Figure it out.
Oh, that was also a show on Nickelodeon. Figure it out. Hosted by Olympic champion Summer Sanders. Great show.
I love Summer Sanders.
Yeah, that was a good show.
I had dinner with her last All-Star break.
See?
Can we just
He
move
knows
on to
everyone.
Radio
You're right,
Tinder?
Cap. He does know everything
Can we
about
just move
everybody.
on? But he doesn't know my thing. I want him to tell me my
I don't know
thing.
who Mike O'Malley is. What do you want me to do? Mike O'Malley sounds like a guy who was like a terrible pinch hitter in 1987 somewhere in the American League.
No, he was not
that's
a terrible pinch hitter.
He probably played for the Boston Red Sox and backed up
He was on
I don't know.
ESPN. The Rick. He was the Rick.
The Rick.
I have no idea who that is.
The
No,
Rick.
none.
In 2018, the Rick made a return in ads for ESPN Plus. See?
Don't remember.
Cappy, there you go.
See the Rick. Go ahead. First name the.
Shout out
last
to
name
the Rick.
Shout out to the Rick.
He's probably listening because everybody listens.
We know that.
Okay, so I'm going to play part of a song for you. This song dropped yesterday. This is Shadur Sanders' new song. This is his new track called Life, okay?
complicate when you count this paper. Yeah, girl, I wanna see you, but I'll see you later. Yeah, there's too much going on, girl, just do me a favor. Yeah, girl, I know you love me, but you know I can't date you. Yeah, you know I'm a rich, I ain't got no neighbors.
Okay, so what do you think, Cappy?
It's just, you know what? The emo mumble rap kind of collab there just doesn't do it for me. I must be just old at this point.
Emo mumble rap. That's like a whole new genre. Emo mumble rap.
I mean,
he's really
that
good
what
at it.
I mean, listen, DeAndre, you're 25 years old. Would this qualify as like emo mumble rap, like collab? Because that's what it sounds like to me.
There's definitely some mumble rap. Yeah,
it's like Juice WRLD, right?
It's just not my thing.
And it's
you know what I mean?
Juice, but not really. No, yeah.
And it's very emo because he's talking about like something very serious. Clearly, like
Girl,
like,
you know I love you, but I can't date you.
right? You know.
Let me tell you something right now.
I love you, girl.
You talk about sounding like an old guy. If I'm an NFL general manager, I ask this question. Where's Cam Ward's rap song? Where's his emo mumble rap?
So I was actually going to ask you that.
Because if he doesn't have an emo mumble rap, I'm taking him. Because you know what? I think Cam Ward wants to play football, and I think Shedeur Sanders wants to be a star.
Okay, so, I was listening to Riz this morning on ESPN Cleveland.
No, really?
And they were talking about this because obviously, with the Browns having the number 2 pick, that's one of the guys that they may be considering drafting is Shedeur Sanders.
Well, aren't they going to work him out?
They did, yeah, he's the first. That's the first team he's going to work out with. He said.
There you go.
Over the weekend, so there was a debate back and forth of like, okay, do you really want to draft a guy that's also trying to be an aspiring rapper? Because there's this whole like notion that with Shedeur, it's not just like I want to be a quarterback. He's got all this other stuff going on.
I mean, he's pretty damn good as a quarterback.
Right.
Is what I would say.
Right. So I want to ask you guys if. To Cappy's point, if you were an NFL GM, would him putting out a song like this matter to you?
No, it wouldn't matter to me, but old stodgy dudes in the NFL probably would have an issue.
Stodgy Cappy?
Yeah, that's me. I mean, again, if you gave me the choice of Cam Ward over here, who's serious about football, and you gave me the choice of Shedeur Sanders, who's serious about being a celebrity, I want to take the guy who's more into football. That's all. It's pretty simple.
I think his other song is better. His other song he got.
Oh, yeah. He has another song, Cap, right?
No, I didn't know that. I'm going to have to get his album.
Get the LPs?
Yeah, that's right.
Get
emo
the vinyl?
Mumble rap. I love emo mumble rap. It's my favorite genre of rap.
They ain't got none of my boy Jello, though.
Jello's going to perform on the All-Star game.
Oh, please.
Is Jello the fat white guy with the tattoos all over his face?
Whoa. No, LiAngelo, dude.
Oh, who's Jello?
Of Jelly Roll.
Oh, Jelly Roll.
Who's great. I love Jelly Roll.
My bad, y'all.
LiAngelo Ball.
George, can you get an All-Star Weekend exclusive with Jello for our show?
I mean, I can ask. I don't know if you really
tell
want
him. I love your new song, Tweaker, man.
I mean, Tweaker plays in every arena, though. I'll give him that.
I mean, that was one of the first songs the Eagles played after they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that song is like, it gets a lot of play.
Do you like that song, Cappy? Do you have his album?
I don't have his album. Is it emo mumble rap or is it not emo mumble?
No, that's
the... Nice, good.
Okay.
I give LeVar credit, man. Never lost.
Yeah, he got a lot of talented kids.
Yeah.
All right, I'll save my other things for Big Deal or No Deal because we're running a little bit behind now.
Yeah, and by the way, it's a Live Nation Ticket Thursday on 710 ESPN. Be caller number 7 right now at 877-710-ESPN for your chance to win 2 tickets to the Outlaw Music Festival. Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, Billy Strings, and more. All live at the Hollywood Bowl on May 16th. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com. Caller number 7, though, wins a pair. All right? 2 tickets to the Outlaw Music Festival. 877-710-ESPN, 877-710-3776. Cappy, coming up next, we'll get back to the Lakers. We'll get back to basketball. We'll get back to Matthew Stafford, all that stuff. I want to talk baseball for a second here because I think there's some really interesting Dodger stuff out there, whether it's Arenado or Kershaw, even Ohtani. I still think there's some chatter about what next year could look like for him. So let's get into some of that coming up next.
Travis Rogers and DeMarco Farr.
Back tomorrow at 9 a.m. after Clinton and Friends.
If someone wrote a diss track about you that won every Grammy it was able to get, you would go into hiding. DeMarco, Factor Cap.
Oh, Cap, I'd be out in front. I'd be blasting the song. Are you kidding me?
Someone calling you what he calls him?
The song about me just won a Grammy. I could care less what you say. The song about me...
Even with the particular accusations within the song.
You're missing the point. The song about me just won a Grammy. I'd be playing it too. Okay. I'll go back to what Eazy-E said. This, God rest his soul. When he pulled up in L.A., or wherever he pulled up, and there's 1,000 people outside burning NWA records. He was like, well, how do you feel about that? I can care less. They already bought him.
Right.
Weekday mornings at 9 a.m.
It's Travis and DeMarco
on 710 ESPN.
This February, the Genesis Invitational heads to Torrey Pines in San Diego. Be there when moments become legendary. The roars echo through the trees, and champions rise. The Genesis Invitational welcomes the world's best golfers, including Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Colin Morikawa, and more, to Torrey Pines February 13th through 16th for the Genesis Invitational. This is where legends are made. Get your tickets today at genesisinvitational.com.
I'm Doug Hopkins.
And I'm Damon Lyons, and we want to buy your house.
If you're considering selling your home for any reason, let Seller's Advantage show you a better way to sell your home.
With no agent fees, no commissions, no hassles, and no repairs.
Just a fair cash offer that can close in just a few days. We don't just promise more, we deliver a much better customer experience.
Check out our Google reviews and see how.
Call Seller's Advantage or visit sellersadvantage.com for free, no obligation cash offer.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text YOUTH to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone-boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now, and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text YOUTH to 42424. That's YOUTH to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is Sedano and Cap for your afternoon drive.
Really? Oh, my B.
Yeah.
My B.
Your B.
On 710 ESPN.
White diamonds, 2 a.m. she wildin'.
Oh, yeah.
Got they stomach in her comments. What school you went to?
Is this some more emo mumble rap?
No, man. This is off Kendrick's latest album.
Oh, well, it sounds like emo mumble rap to me. Sounds like Shador.
Does not sound like Shador. Not at all, actually.
By the way, if we didn't know that it was Shador and you told us that it was, like a famous rapper like this dude right here, we'd all be like, oh, my God, it's so awesome. But because it's Shador, it's, straight trash. Feel me?
I didn't call it straight trash either. I just wasn't my thing, is all I said.
Well, it's because it's emo mumble rap.
By the way, thanks to Beto in Whittier, who said I wasn't far off with Mike O'Malley being some sort of light-hitting pinch hitter who backed up somebody at the Boston Red Sox. He sent me a picture of someone named Sean O'Malley, who was basically that for the Seattle Mariners. So thank you. I appreciate that.
They didn't call him the Rick, did they?
No, I don't believe so. The only Rick I enjoy is Rick from Rick and Morty. Rick Sanchez is my only Rick that I care about.
Okay. Shout out to Rick Sanchez.
Rick and Morty, great show.
Yeah. Rick and Morty is a great show. Hold on. What happened, Mateo?
What's going on,
Benny's
Mateo?
Benny's got a coat on. Oh, a Chelsea coat. Oh, yeah. I like
Really?
it. Thanks, bud.
Chelsea like the soccer
club.
team?
Yeah. My wife, when we went to London, we went to tour the stadium, and we got Benny a gift too. It was a little doggy raincoat with the Chelsea logo on it. Anyway,
He needs it today.
Yeah, it definitely does with the atmospheric green. What is it? Atmospheric river.
Right.
So anyway, Cappy, and then there's another tweet I want to get to. Hold on, where is it? It is from. Oh, here we go. From David, 55.
Mm-hmm.
Says, wait a minute. Before the season ended, Sedano was praising Stafford. Now he flexes on the Rams and Darnold is better. It's not what I said, actually. I said Darnold. I didn't say Darnold is better. I said it's a business. You got a price. You can afford to have him fit within that price structure. If he doesn't fit those parameters, then you got to move on. It's that simple.
So you said you had a number. Play general manager. If Matthew Stafford would sign for X, what's the most money you'd pay Matthew Stafford?
Probably like in that $40 to $45 million range. Like that's probably the max.
And by the way, let me tell you something right now. If the Rams guaranteed Matthew Stafford that money, because that was the complaint last year. Remember that he didn't have any guaranteed money left? If the Rams said to Matthew Stafford, we'll pay you $45 million this season guaranteed, he'd be foolish not to take it. Kirk Morrison brought up a great point. There's really no market out there for him per se, and his best chance to win and his best chance to make the maximum amount of dollars is here in L.A.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk Dodgers, though, real quick. So Clayton Kershaw is back. 1 year, $7.5 million. I would say a value. I mean, because you don't know what his availability is going to be. But I think that one would assume this is the last go-around for Clayton Kershaw. And because of what he's meant to the organization, I actually think that's a very reasonable deal for both sides. Would you agree, considering today's baseball economics?
Yeah, I mean, I think that when you look at Clayton Kershaw, if he were a frontline starting pitcher, and I say frontline, I don't mean like he's your ace.
Yeah, but if making $40 or $50 million, yeah.
Right, but if he were your number 4 pitcher, that's probably like a $17 to $20 million a year guy, certainly for the Dodgers. Yeah. So for Clayton Kershaw to say to the Dodgers organization, hey, I'm not done yet. I'd actually still like to be on the team. And the Dodgers say to him, well, what can you do? He's like, I could probably start like 5 to 10 games this year for you. And you know what? I'm a good influence on all these other guys that you've brought in. So for that amount of money, you kind of have like a high-priced pitching coach who may pitch once a month.
Yeah, and that'd be fine.
I've said this to you in the past. I've been ridiculed for saying it, but I'll hold on to it.
You want him to start in August. Yes, I know.
Yeah, they should not even consider pitching him in the first half of the season. They got 12 guys in the starting rotation.
They do have 12 now. Yeah. They didn't have 12 last year, though.
I mean, I would hold Kershaw out until at least the second half of the season.
And then there's a lot of chatter about trading for Nolan Arenado. Look, we've heard this chatter before. I mean, it would be amazing. I mean, he's not the hitter he used to be, but he's still an incredible fielder. That's for sure.
Yeah, but that conversation about Nolan Arenado seems to have been happening, not just with the Dodgers, with anybody who was interested in him, since pretty much the end of last season. So it's going to be one of those guys that, whether it's spring training is already underway or spring training's about to break, where somebody at the last second goes, okay, let's go grab him. I mean, that would be my guess.
Yeah. Did you hear that Mickey Hatcher was on Travis and DeMarco and said that he doesn't think Ohtani should pitch at all?
I did hear that. I don't.
Do we have the audio, Linz?
I don't have it, but I could find it. But
no, it's fine.
Yeah,
it's
he basically just said he doesn't. I mean, look at the season he had last year. He was so incredible, and part of it is probably because he didn't have to pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think he wants to pitch, is what I would guess. And number two, if you're paying $70 million a year, I get it that it's 98% deferred or whatever the hell. You'll probably want him to pitch.
I completely agree. I understand why Mickey might have that opinion based on how great Ohtani was last year.
By the way, Mickey Hatcher, an incredible 80s and 90s baseball name.
It's a good name.
I mean, if you told me, like, hey, this guy's an athlete, his name is Mickey Hatcher, I would have said one of two things. He's either a baseball player or a boxer in, like, the, middleweight division that, can't get past, like Roberto Duran or something.
I understand where he's coming from. Like, look how great Ohtani was last year, hitting, stealing bases, whatever. But if I were the Dodgers, I'd be like, no, we gave him the $700 million because he's a two-way guy. And I want to see him pitch. And just by the way, I mean, when you think about what the Dodgers have now on this pitching staff, they've got the Japanese all-star team, right?
They do.
They've got
Sasaki.
Yep.
They've got Yamamoto, and they've got Ohtani.
Right, and they've already announced that when the Dodgers go to Japan for their first couple of games, they're pitching Sasaki and Yamamoto.
Those three guys. Yeah, they have to. By the way, Cappy, I'm watching TNT right now. They're doing, like, the guys are in San Francisco already. And they've got, like, a famous chef bringing them, like, all sorts of great seafood from San Francisco, which is obviously, great seafood places in San Francisco.
TNT.
They basically stole our bit from Yamava.
Yeah, right. I mean, what we would do when we would go out to the casino was we'd have the chef bring us everything, and then we'd pretty much eat it all. And so,
well, I see like a couple desserts there too. Oh, those look good. Those.
Hey, I like Shaq's hat. Shaq, nice hat, bro.
Yeah.
Chuck.
Does it
Is
still have the
there anything
sticker?
you want me to say? Anything you want me to say to Shaq or Chuck or any of them when I see them?
Yeah, I'm going to send you a picture of when Shaq was carrying me like a little baby.
Okay.
And I want you to go, hey, your boy Cappy here wants you back on the show.
Okay.
And then make that happen if you don't mind. When are you going to San Francisco?
Tomorrow night.
And what is your job during the All-Star weekend?
I am doing the sidelines on Saturday and Sunday. On radio.
On TV?
On radio. We don't
On
have
radio.
the TV right.
Well, I'm asking because I don't know. Yeah. So you're on sidelines on radio on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
At some point in today's broadcast, you're going to have to explain to me the new All-Star format. Yeah, because I don't know it, and I guarantee you that if I don't know
it's actually not that hard. It's pretty simple.
Well, if
But
I don't
can
know
do
it, I'm going to tell you most people who are listening don't know it.
Yeah,
And wanna
I know,
hear it.
right. Yeah, because you just assume everyone is just as ignorant as you.
Or you assume that everybody knows stuff that they don't know because they don't really pay attention because you're just too deep into the league. So it's somewhere in the middle. Somewhere in the middle. But I guarantee you people don't have any idea what this new All-Star format
No,
is.
I'm actually agreeing with you on this one. But I
I
just
don't
felt
know.
like it'd be funny to say that you were ignorant.
Well, I don't know.
Listen, don't go DeMarco on Beto on me, okay?
Oh, dude. I look right over at you and go, you know?
I mean, you
you're getting
thought
ready for an ass beating.
Shut Up Beto was going to live forever? I mean,
I know.
good Lord.
I got one upped. Beto, shut up.
I mean, that's a great drop, though.
Oh, I
It's
know.
still a great drop.
Can I just
But-
tell you really quickly that
Yeah.
the other day when this happened with Beto and DeMarco, I went back and listened to it.
Yeah.
Have you gone
How
back
many
and listened?
times? How many times did you
No,
go
I
back
only
and
heard
listen?
whatever DeAndre sent me one time.
when
I didn't
they-
know what happened. I was
Oh.
on the road.
You needed about 60 seconds or so before the video that DeAndre sent.
Oh.
And you need like the next 4 or 5 minutes after what DeAndre sent.
Yeah.
And I was on my way. I was driving home the other night, and I called Travis. I go, Travis, let me tell you something, man.
Oh, no,
You
were you like,
did-
I've been there?
I was like, you did such a great job.
He did try. Yes,
He
I
did
caught
such
that.
a great job, though, of keeping things on the rails, even though they were off the rails, bringing them back onto the rails, and then ultimately getting the show to a commercial break, rather than being like, okay, we're going to a break right now. Hold on, you know?
Yeah.
Travis did such a great job.
When I see DeMarco at the grocery store, I'm going to be like, bro, am I Claire bleeping voyant too? Like, what's going on?
Wow. He's going to look right at you and go, you know, you're getting ready to get an ass whooping.
I told Beto, I said, don't be messing with DeMarco, bro. That guy will stomp your ass. You
Well,
gotta know your
up.
Know your
You just
role.
never know when he's going to go D lineman on you, you know?
Exactly.
It's like
I ain't met.
it's
Listen,
like a-
he gets
like-
into that 3-point stance.
Right.
You're in trouble, bro.
It's like a pit bull. You know what I mean? People who own pit bulls are like, oh my God, they're the most wonderful dogs and they're the most loving dogs. And oh my God, I love my pit bull. And I'm like, yeah, till he decides to eat your face off. You know? And that could
I
happen.
mean, I don't know. I had a pit bull. He never
That's
ate
a
my
bad
I
face.
never had a pit
stereotype.
bull, and I'm afraid of pit bulls. Okay, but if DeMarco,
Listen,
all of a sudden
DeMarco
goes
is
pit
like a
bull-
big teddy bear, but if a bear wants to get at you, you get out of the way.
Oh yeah, and then just Beto just egging it on because once he told him the second time he was about to get in that ass, that's when Beto was like, let's go. Like it was like I got under your skin, I win.
Oh, I didn't know that happened.
Oh, you got to go back and listen to the minute before it happened. And
I
the
told
3 or
Beto,
4
just
minutes
be
after
careful,
it happened.
bro. I ain't messing with DeMarco, bro. I ain't getting into that fight for you, bro. I
Beto
love you, but
made,
not that
Beto
much.
made one comment in that whole thing, and it's what set DeMarco off.
And I don't, and I'm sure it was deserved.
Yeah, and you never know what he woke up thinking that day. You know, he could have just been having a bad day.
If DeMarco is a pretty easygoing dude, so if it set DeMarco off, it was deserved.
Well, he took a shot that was not something that he thought everybody was going to catch, and it did. And oh man, it was.
I ain't messing with DeMarco. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying. Anyway, you know what, Cappy?
Tell me.
As you mentioned, I'm going to San Francisco. Going back to my home away from home. Was just there today. At LAX, changes arriving daily reduce traffic, save travelers time, and transform the traveler experience. The LAX economy parking structure is now open with thousands of smart parking spaces, as well as hundreds of EV charging stations. Modernized terminals have biometric gates for faster boarding, and a new facility will have all major rental car brands under one roof for when your friends and family come to visit. And in the future, if you're local, you don't even need a car to get to LAX. The People Mover train will connect travelers to LA Metro. So for more information, check out their website, flylax.com. That's flylax.com.
710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a good karma brands radio station.
Hey, it's Mace. Want a new game to get excited about? Check out Chumba Casino, your favorite online social casino. It's free to play, no strings attached. Enjoy social casino games like bingo, slingo, and slots and more with new releases every week, whether you're at home or on the go. Play for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Get started today at ChumbaCasino.com.
Available only to players in the U.S., excluding Washington, Michigan, Montana, Connecticut, and Nevada, and Canada, excluding Quebec. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
This is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
This is the city, Los Angeles, California. It's 5 p.m. in the Southland.
Turn it up, man.
Time to blow that 5 o'clock whistle with Sedano and Cappy.
That's right, it's the 5 o'clock hour on Sedano and Cap. And it's time for 30 minutes non-stop.
Sedano and Cap on 710 ESPN.
With fun and frivolity, tomfoolery and hijinks, and Cappy doing his thing, thanks to our friends at Real Father's Rights. Real Father's Rights, the father's rights attorney.
Visit RFR710.com or call 833-ESPN-710.
Let's do it, 5 o'clock in the Southland.
30 minutes of non-stop Sedano and Cap starts now.
You ready for this? And time for the Real Father's Rights 5 o'clock hour on 710 ESPN. Let's do it, Jack!
Yeah. Ding, ba-da, boop. Ding, da-da, ba. I'm in big trouble right now, George.
Why?
So last night, we got off the air, and I went over to Rubber Rachel's house for a little dinner, you know. But we hadn't figured out what we were going to do for dinner at this point. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, it was like, do we go out? Do we order something in? Do we have anything in the house? Whatever. She is the queen of leftovers. This woman goes out to lunch and dinner and brings home leftovers every day.
I mean, let me tell you something. Leftovers, especially if you make it at home, there are certain things that taste better, I think, the next day.
So here's what happened. So
we were referring to like lasagna earlier. I think a good lasagna, I mean, that stuff really seeps in after an overnight.
Oh, the next day it's good. Really good. So I go over to her house last night. She's still working upstairs, and I decide I'm going to unload the refrigerator with all the leftovers. And the roster
As
of
in
leftovers.
get rid of them.
No, I'm going to unload them. I'm going to put them out on the counter so that there's now a smorgasbord of leftovers.
Oh, gotcha.
So here's what was in the refrigerator. You ready?
Yeah.
Legitimately a full pizza.
Wow.
Okay. Two meatballs.
What kind of pizza?
It was like a sausage with like a ricotta.
From like a restaurant, though.
Yeah. Oh, no, this is all restaurant food. Understand, when I say leftovers, I mean everything was brought in from a restaurant. Here goes. Yeah. A full pizza, 2 meatballs from the same night of having that pizza, I'd say about 80% of a filet mignon from Ruth's Chris, along with like the potatoes, like the au gratin potatoes.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
There was a salad from a Mediterranean place with chicken. What do they call the chicken from the Mediterranean spots? What do they call it? Shawarma. Right?
Yeah.
So I've got the pizza with the meatballs. I got the filet with the au gratin potatoes. I got the salad with the chicken shawarma. There was a Jersey Mike sandwich from Sunday, from Super Bowl Sunday, and I feel like there was edamame from some sushi place that she had gone to.
I don't like edamame.
All
Everything
I'm
else
telling-
sounds delicious, though.
All I'm telling you is the pizza, the meatballs, the steak, the potatoes au gratin, the shawarma, the salad, the Jersey, everything, right? And for whatever reason last night, I was ravenously hungry.
Yeah.
Can I be really honest?
Yeah.
I got a little high. Anyway, so now, dude, I'm eating everything. I'm eating everything, George. I'm eating the pizza. I'm eating the balls. I'm eating the freaking steak. I'm eating the potatoes. I ate it all.
Yeah.
She just texted me a few minutes ago. You know what she told me? She goes, "You're never, ever, ever having leftovers at my house again because now I'm starving and there's not a thing in the refrigerator. Nothing.
Right.
Because I ate it all."
I mean, you're a monster. You're a savage.
I guess so. And I'm really worried because tomorrow's Valentine's Day, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I know you booked out, I'm sure, right?
I'm all booked out, yeah.
Okay, I didn't book.
I even got some books for Arya.
Oh, that's so sweet. I booked during Christmas. I didn't book this time for Valentine's Day.
It.
I should have booked it, but I didn't book it. And so now tomorrow's Valentine's Day, and I'm standing here, and I still got a lot to do. Cards, flowers, lunch. You know, I got a lot to do between now and tomorrow.
Yeah, that's why I booked it. I booked it a long time ago.
Yeah, it's smart. Smart to
all
book
booked
it.
out now.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the books are here. Everything's good.
I know. I'm book free right now, unfortunately.
Although I heard Andy and them talking about on Mason Ireland, like going to dinner and stuff. I haven't gone to dinner on Valentine's Day in
dinner on Valentine's Day.
like 15 years probably. 10 or 15 years.
That is like going out on New Year's Eve.
Right. I was just saying it's super, very much amateur night.
Totally. I mean, you are ready to
Prefixed
be ripped off.
menus.
Right.
Get out of here with your
about
prefixed menu.
Your freaking Valentine's Day. What is
prefixed
wrong with you
menu?
people? Come on, Andy.
Even when we used to do Valentine's Day, we wouldn't actually do it on Valentine's Day because I hated the prefix menu, and so did she. So when we actually used to do like an actual dinner for that stuff, we would go like either the weekend before or the weekend after.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're going to
get
do.
like and go to like a restaurant we really wanted to go to, and not have to deal with a prefixed menu.
Come on, Andy. You freaking Andy.
Come on, Andy.
This freaking guy. Come on, Andy. Are you serious right now? So that's what we're doing. We're actually going to do Valentine's Day tomorrow. We'll have like a little Valentine's Day lunch because that's something we don't normally get to do.
Yeah.
Flowers are a must, of course.
See.
A handwritten, heartfelt card is, in my opinion, a must.
You know, Cappy, you can go to, if you want to drive up, you can go to the actual Books company here in L.A.
Okay, I could. That's possible.
Yeah, or you could, or I'm surprised you didn't ask someone at the station to just grab some for you.
I should have asked Sam Lloyd to do that for me. You know, she's my go-to.
Because you're the king of the freebie.
Right.
You know?
Right. I know, and I paid so much money for Books over the holidays with my
Thank you.
girlfriend,
We appreciate that.
my mother, my sister. I mean, everybody got Books. You know what I mean?
Got booked out.
And so I was all booked out back then.
Right.
But yeah, and then next weekend, we're going to go to
Well,
Vegas.
you were very surprised about the Christmas Books. You were like, wait, Books for Christmas? That actually is kind of interesting.
Well, not only was it interesting, but those freaking Books lasted like almost a month. I'm not joking around. I mean, they came on Christmas Eve, and we probably threw them out about the third week of January.
I remember you told me.
So
yeah, they last a long time. So anyway, Valentine's tomorrow.
So Valentine's Day is tomorrow.
You're taking the day off.
I do have the day off tomorrow. I do.
Yeah.
I didn't want the day
That's
off.
because you're such a romantic. You're like our little Cupid.
Bergman was like, dude, you need to take a couple days off. So
I can't wait till like Grant in L.A. puts you in like a little Cupid meme or something.
That would be cute. Now, also, George, Monday is President's Day. And I've mentioned this to you in the past. I just want to say one thing to everybody who's listening right now. If you take your birthday off from work, you're a child. Okay?
Right. It's like eating milk chocolate.
Right. You're like a little kid. You have to have your birthday off from work? Really? It's my birthday. I don't want to work on my birthday. When you're a grown-up, it's just another day. Okay?
Right, except you've done it for the last like 2 or 3 years.
Well, I can't help the fact that my birthday falls on a national holiday. That got nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
So I want to make it clear to everybody. I am off on Monday. It is not because of my birthday. It is because of the respect that I have for the office of the presidency and the history of presidents in the United States. That's why I'm off on Monday.
No problem, Cappy. All right, so let's talk about the Lakers real quick before we get into a bunch of other stuff.
All right.
So we've talked a lot about the Rams. We'll talk some more about the Rams because we're going to be on until 6:30. So
wait a second. Hold on. Time out. Is that true?
Yes, Cappy.
I was told 6 o'clock.
Well, we can figure some stuff out. How about that?
All right.
In the interim, let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
What do you think is like a reasonable expectation for the regular season? Let's start with that, with this new look Lakers team. All things considered, that look, they don't have any real big men. They don't really have. I mean, they've got Luka and LeBron. I mean, they can kind of figure that out for sure. But I think they can be a playoff team, right? Because remember, we've talked about the schedule gets hard after the All-Star break, shortly thereafter, okay? And they're going to see a lot more competition, and they're still going to be figuring some stuff out. So to me, if they can just remain in that top 5 or 6, like, I'm happy with that.
So I have really enjoyed Brian Windhorst. You know, I'm a big fan of Windy.
Yeah, I talked to Windy today, right before the show. Yeah, that's why I was a few minutes late to crosstalk. Windy and I were doing a little catch-up, a little download. I needed to kind of fill him in on some of the stuff that I saw over the last couple of days, just some conversations I have. I like to keep, Windy's good enough to come on, the show every once in a while. Although Lindsay, he told me to tell you, he's just exhausted right now. Like, he just can't do it.
I figured.
And he was apologetic, and I told him he doesn't have to apologize. But, I gave him a little, Windy and I like to trade information, Cappy.
I like that. You're an information trader of sorts.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about what Brian Windhorst has been saying recently on ESPN, and it's an opinion that I subscribe to.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes like this. I'm going to give the Lakers a break this year, meaning I'm not really convinced that they're a championship team yet. I do think that, and you always use this phrase, matchup dependency. It depends on who they would have to see in the postseason. But given the way they've rebuilt the roster, and given the fact that they don't really truly have a competitive big man, listen, I like Jackson Hayes. I like seeing Jackson Hayes dunk the ball. But when Jackson Hayes eventually has to play defense in the paint against guys that outweigh him by 100 pounds, okay, Jackson Hayes is going to get pushed all around. Okay, On the offensive end, Jackson Hayes is fast. He slashes to the basket. He can jump out of the building. He's good offensively. But I think that he's going to get annihilated defensively. So I realize that the Lakers have a major hole in their lineup. So like Windy has been saying, you got to kind of give them a little bit of a break this year because they've made the move to get the replacement for LeBron, but they're probably going to have to go into the offseason and find a real center or centers, And so given that they're just playing together for the first time, given the fact that they have a first-year head coach, and they don't have a legitimate big man, I just don't have expectations that they're going to win a championship this year. They make it into the playoffs. That's my expectation, that they finish in the top 6, 4, 5, 6, somewhere in that range. But I don't think they're a championship team today. Something happens along the way. I don't know. Alex Len becomes good. Maybe that happens. But I'm kind of with Windy on this. You got to kind of cut them a break on this year's team. And then next year, they got to make the right moves so that they can really, really, really go for a championship.
I 100% agree. And by the way, if they don't, because again, next year they can offer Luka the extension. Like, it's a big year in a lot of ways, right? Like this year, what happens this year if they play well enough to feel like, okay, they're just a few pieces away, like some smaller pieces away. Can they figure that out to make sure Luka resigns? Because that's the thing. Like, you got to get him to resign. Like, and I know we were joking about DeMarco and Beto earlier, but that's the crux of it. And I'm with DeMarco on that. Like, that's not a given just yet.
No, it's not. Now, but I understood what Beto was getting at, which is the arrogant expectation that where's he going to go? Like, who else offers him the stardom of playing in L.A. for the Lakers? So, and DeMarco's point
Dwight Howard was the one.
Dwight Howard was the one what?
He gave it up.
Okay, but I think there's an expectation, and again, I call it an arrogant expectation that I think most Laker fans probably feel, which is
he's the outlier. He's the one guy that said, "Nah, I'm good. Kobe's old. I don't want to play with him. He's mean to me. Whatever it was." And by the way, he wanted to come back. Hell, he still wants to come back.
Yeah, really. What he did yesterday, by the way, to Wendy was so uncool.
What did he do? I didn't see that.
Oh, you didn't hear about this?
No.
Oh, yeah. So you saw that Wendy had kind of ridiculed Stephen A. by saying, why don't you go get Boogie Cousins
Dwight
who's
Howard,
playing in
right.
Mongolia?
Yeah, he said, why don't you go get DeMarcus Cousins who's playing in Mongolia, or
right.
Kareem is a free agent.
Kareem as a free agent was even funnier.
Yeah.
But then because Wendy was blowing off the notion of Dwight Howard playing for the Lakers, Dwight Howard went on Twitter and said, why don't you have another burger, Wendy?
Oh, you know what, man? I'm
so
out
uncool.
I was already out on Dwight,
so
but
uncool.
I'm real out on Dwight.
I mean, come on, man. Really? Like, you got to take a shot at a guy who's...
And he deleted it, too, because he knew it was wrong.
I mean, it's just so rude. You know what I mean? And I was telling it yesterday. I was like, hey, I think Wendy has done a great job. I think he looks great. I think he's lost some weight. I think he looks terrific.
He has lost a ton of weight.
You know?
And by the way, right, like, you don't know what someone's dealing with in that scenario, right? Like, whatever.
Right.
Like,
It's a business. Like, get a life.
Sorry, I can't be built like you, Dwight Howard. Sorry.
Yeah.
Wish I could. Can't.
Cappy was like, you know what I say to you, Dwight Howard? Eat a cheeseburger.
Yeah, you should have a burger, Dwight Howard.
Right,
how about,
right,
how about
right.
you have
I
a couple of
agree.
burgers?
I agree. He should actually eat a cheeseburger.
Put on a couple of LBs. Why don't you?
Apparently he's vegan, Parker just said.
Oh, is that right?
Well, you can
They
have
have
like,
vegan options.
a
Have
Beyond
an Impossible.
burger.
Have an Impossible
Exactly.
burger.
Yeah, exactly.
Or 2.
Yeah, right.
Or 7.
For that matter. So, anyway, here's the one thing, just going back to what you were talking about, George, about the Lakers coming up. Listen, when they come back from the break next Wednesday, they're going to play Charlotte, okay? Not a game I would normally have interest in, but I will say, like, Dalton Connect coming back from Charlotte and playing for the Lakers last night in his post-game commentary, I thought that was kind of interesting. You got Charlotte and then Portland on the road. Portland's on the road.
Right.
And then...
And by the way, Portland playing good basketball right now. Like, they are not... I know that they've been kind of a pushover for most of the season, but they are playing much better of late. Like, they have played good basketball. I want to say, if I went back to like a bigger sample size, they've won. I know they've lost 3 in a row recently, but before that, they had won 5, 6 in a row. Yeah, so they had won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of 10 before that. Like they've been playing good basketball lately, and they beat. By the way, their only loss in that 9 out of 10 stretch was to the Thunder. Everybody else, they beat the Bucks, they beat the Magic, who's a good team. A playoff or a play-in team. They beat the Heat. They beat the Suns a couple times. The Pacers, the Kings. That was even before, I believe, the Fox trade. So they've played good basketball.
Well, here's what I want to say though about the Lakers' schedule. So they come back next week against Charlotte. Then they go on the road to Portland. When they go on the road to Portland, then they're going to go to Denver. So when they play Denver,
that's one people are going to circle.
Right. And let me just fast forward real quick to Sunday, March 16th. I know I'm getting ahead of myself here, but the only reason I'm bringing it up is because what I said to you last week, you asked, how long is it going to take? Like, how much time do you give them till they really get going? Because Luka, to me, looks like he hasn't played since Christmas. Right. They've got him on a pitch count, right?
Yeah.
24 minutes 2
he's
nights
definitely
ago.
on him. Yeah, he's not playing more than 30 minutes.
Right, 23 minutes last night. So we understand that they got to work them back into game shape, and then everybody has to learn how to play together.
Yes, correct.
And I think Luka is intentionally trying to be unselfish here.
Yes,
because he feels like he came to LeBron's team, whereas Dallas was his team.
Yeah.
So this is just my perception. But what I'm getting at is, if you give them till Sunday, March 16th, when they play Phoenix, and you say, hey, that's enough time for this group to get it together.
Yeah, on ABC, by the way.
Listen, you're going to play at Denver. You're going to play against Minnesota. You're going to go on the road. You're going to play Boston, Brooklyn, Milwaukee, Denver. And then, by the way, after you get to Phoenix, then San Antonio, Denver, Milwaukee. I mean, you're going to be playing against the teams with big guys.
Yeah. By the way, Cappy, a lot of those dates in late March and early April. There's a lot of no Sedano and Cap shows those days.
There's like a week in March. I want to say it's March 10th where we're not on the air 3 days, and then there's a week at the end of March where we're not on the air for 3 days.
Yeah,
so there's gonna be
April too. Yeah.
Oh, really? April too?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm just taking a look at this right now. Wow. Oh my. Oklahoma City, then Dallas, back to back. What are you saying?
Saying plan accordingly.
Well, I'm trying to. I've never really done a good job of looking ahead to the schedule.
Hence why I said plan accordingly.
But now I'm trying to because I'm going to go to Mammoth for a week when we only were on the air 2 days.
Yeah, Mamouche.
I'm trying to get to Florida to visit my mother and father, and all my people down in Florida, darling.
I want to go to Florida.
Yeah, you got to go there before April, though, bro. It gets too hot after that.
Yeah. Oh, DeAndre, you want to go down to Florida?
I do want to go down to Florida.
No. Florida. There you go. There you go, kiddo.
Anyway,
I'm taking that. I'm taking that. I am taking that from Clinton.
You're not.
I am taking from Clinton.
What's up,
calls
kiddos?
everybody. Clinton calls everybody kiddos. I'm calling everybody kiddos now.
You're not doing that.
Come on, kiddo.
No. Anyway, Cappy.
Yeah.
So you think March 16th is what you said is that is kind of like your first stretch of where you think you want to see what they look like. Like by the time they get to the Phoenix game, you want to see that's kind of like your line of demarcation.
Because when they come back from the All-Star break, that game against Phoenix on March 16th is about 15 games into it.
Correct.
So for me, my number is 15 games.
Yeah.
Give LeBron and Luka and JJ Redick, give them 15 games to figure it out, and at that point, we'll have a much better understanding of what we think the Lakers might turn into.
Okay.
What do you
think? That's fair. No, I think that's fair. 15 to 20. I think that's always a fair barometer. Like I'm with you. 15 is probably on the lower end of that spectrum for me, but 20 is kind of the max that I need to know what it looks like, and then I can make a real informed decision at that point. Yes.
It's interesting you say that about 20 games. So if my game is against Phoenix on March 16th, then the next day on a back-to-back, San Antonio.
They got Wemby, right.
Yep, home against Denver. So then you got the Joker.
Yeah.
Then later that week, you're home against Milwaukee. In fact, back-to-back Denver, Milwaukee, Wednesday, Thursday.
So they end up actually, they have 4 games in 5 nights because it's Phoenix, San Antonio, Denver, Milwaukee, right, from the 16th through the 20th. That's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a crazy stretch.
Yeah, it's going to be, listen, I don't know where you don't just manufacture big guys. You don't just go out and find.
What are they going to do
Howard.
against Giannis? Is my question.
Yeah, and I guess maybe if you're a Laker
DeAndre,
fan,
what do you think? What do you do against Giannis? You just start like Rui on him and hope it goes okay.
No, you hope that he's hurt.
Hope it goes okay. Force him to take jump shots, inside, outside the paint. So hopefully they can do that. But
because Giannis,
he's physical,
he puts the most pressure on the rim of anybody.
Am I wrong for thinking this though? Watching the game against Utah Jazz, and I get it. All-Star break, and then they were missing 2 of their core defenders and Gabe Vincent and Dorian Finney-Smith. But seeing what Lauri Markkanen and seeing what Walker Kessler did, and that's no knock on them, but seeing what they did to them
they're good players.
Yeah, seeing what they did to them last night. Should I be concerned about in that stretch after the All-Star break and then when they have to go up against Wemby and then they have to go up against Giannis?
I think we're going to – right, but it's baptism under fire is what it is, DeAndre. Like, we're going to see, like, how they try to manage that,
I mean, last night's game, to me, if you're Utah, you have just been humiliated on the road. Now you're coming home. And you're like, hey, guys, let's give it everything we got. And if you're the Lakers, you're like, hey, guys, we won big in Luka's debut. We had to hustle up here. A couple guys are, LeBron is headed to the All-Star game. Everybody else needs to rest, relax. JJ needs to get his life in order. Nobody's head was in that game last night. I'm not trying to make excuses for these guys. Let them make their own excuses. Yes, they were missing 2 important defensive pieces. And by the way, Gabe Vincent, to his credit, has become a key part of, I think, the offense. It's not like he's scoring 25 points a game.
He's playing like the guy they hoped to have when they signed him. You know
Correct.
what I mean? He's playing that way.
He's playing the way you expected when they signed him, and you went, that guy, Miami, hard worker, second-round pick.
Played really well in the playoffs for them, right, yeah.
Right. Like, you were getting what you thought you were getting originally, but he was hurt in season 1. So I got it, couple guys out. Put it this way. The game is so over with like 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter that it's Bronny time. You feel me? Yeah. Like, once Bronny comes into the game, no offense, Bronny, but the fact of the matter is they've waved the white flag.
He scored 9 points.
Hey, give him his credit. He hit a 3. He had that really nice layup in the paint where he had to put the ball up high. You know what? Hey, I'm happy for him, but once he comes into the game, that's the acknowledgement of we're not going to win, so give him some run, right?
Yeah. I'm with you. All right, Cappy. We got a break here in a minute here.
Do we?
Or so.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm having so much fun, though.
I mean, okay. Do you have more? I mean, feel free.
Well,
you want me to tell you about the All-Star Weekend thing? You want me to do
go
that?
ahead. Let me hear how this works.
All right. So there's 4 teams, right? Shaq, Kenny, and Charles each have a team, and then there's the Rising Stars team, like right, like that team. Like,
is that Ernie's team?
It's not really Ernie's team.
Oh,
I mean,
give Ernie a team.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I guess maybe Ernie can have that team.
Okay.
If he really wanted it. I don't know. I'm guessing. So anyway, so they got those 4 teams, right? Chuck's Global Stars, because Charles picked a lot of the international guys like Shea and Wemby and Sengun and Siakam and whatever, like Jokic. Kenny's Young Stars, he's got Brunson, Cade, Anthony Edwards, Garland, Tyler Hero, Mobley, etc. Shaq's got the OG team. He's actually got a good team because he's got the older guys like LeBron and Lillard and Durant and those guys, but he's got Tatum and Curry, Jaylen Brown and whatever, etc. So they're going to face up. One of those 4 teams is going to face the Rising Stars team, okay? And then they basically play like these mini games. So it's like a little mini tournament is what it is.
All right.
So that's what it's going to be.
So it's
Candace Parker, by the way, with the Rising Stars. She's coaching the Rising Stars.
Okay.
So the way they're doing it, I think this was brilliant, okay? And I may or may not have suggested this to somebody at the league the other day.
So you think that you get credit for this? Is that right?
I don't know if I get credit. I think we were all in agreement. But they were kind of, let's just say they were workshopping this, right?
Let's hear it.
And I said, listen, you have to put the Shaq old guy team, okay, against the Rising Stars. Because first of all, you want them to play hard, right? Like the whole goal of this is to play hard. You following me, right? Because they haven't played hard, right? DeAndre, LeBron, Harden, Steph, Durant, the 2 Boston guys, Lillard, Kyrie. The last thing they want is to get embarrassed by the Rising Stars, correct?
Oh, I agree.
So the best way to get that team to play hard out of the gate is to put them against the Rising Stars, okay?
Old guys against the Rising Stars.
Correct. So that's what they have in one semifinal.
Is Bronny playing for the Rising Stars?
No.
Oh.
So on the other side, you have the Kenny Young Stars. So those young guys are going to want to play, right? Because they're not like older veteran guys who've been in a bunch of all-star games. Like they're going to want to show out anyway. And then against Chuck's international guys, and those guys are going to play hard too because they're like, well, hell, we want to show everyone that the internationals are the best players. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you've got those groups against each other. And then in a perfect world, you get Chuck's team, which is the international group, against Shaq's team, which is the OG group.
Right.
And those two for sure don't want to lose to each other. So they're going to play hard. It actually can be a good formula to get them to play hard, I think.
Let me ask you this. You know how, like, in the in-season tournament, the winning team makes, the most money, right?
Right.
In the All-Star game, the NBA All-Star game, does the team that wins the whole thing?
No, there's no money, I don't believe.
Oh, the reason I ask is because a lot of times that's what incentivizes guys. Just to give you an example,
no, I know.
In the old school, back before the NFL was their All-Star game and the Pro Bowl was so bad that they decided to change everything to a skills competition. But the truth of the matter is that nobody really cared about the game till about the fourth quarter.
Right.
And then everybody was like, well, wait a second.
Well,
if
and
we
that
win,
was that was the same thing in the NBA. They even Magic and those guys, they didn't play hard in the first 3 quarters, but in the fourth quarter it was on. You know what I mean?
The football guys were like, in the fourth quarter, they're like, now listen, if we win and we all get $50,000, that pays for the whole thing. Right. If we lose and we only get $25,000, we may be on the hook here a little bit. So they cared at the end.
Right. So this is a way for them to play hard. So so that was the way when they were workshopping it to me the other day, I said that, and they were like, yeah, that's how we feel it should go too. Shaq versus the Rising Stars, Chuck's team versus Kenny's team, and then in a perfect world, if you get, It doesn't matter at that point. Like, but if in a perfect world, if you get the international guys against Shaq's team and the old guys, like they're not going to want to lose to each other either.
Yeah.
So it could work out. So you feeling it, DeAndre? Like, I think that I know the format is a little wacky, but it does not guarantee, but it probably ensures your best chance of them playing hard for both games.
I think that's what everyone wants. Just seeing those guys just go out there and play hard, because there has been these past couple All-Star games obviously have not been that entertaining because guys go out there and not playing hard enough. That's all it is. So I really hope this new format does get these guys to understand, hey man, just go out there and play hard.
Yeah.
Look at Grant in L.A. with the Cappy Cupid Cappy.
I see that. Looking sharp. Looking
in
real
the
good.
Sedano and Cap Circle of Trust.
Grant in L.A., you're a talented guy. You're a very talented guy. I wish that you would come to some of our events so we could actually meet you face to face.
Yeah. All right. So I'm looking forward to a Cap because of that.
Well, I'm looking forward to it for this reason. Hey, NBA, do a guy like me a favor, will you? I'm not an NBA insider like George, okay? I'm an NBA outsider. So do me a favor. Find a way to make it compelling that a guy like me would actually commit my time to watching your All-Star festivities.
Yeah. But I think, look, LeBron's team doesn't want to get embarrassed by the rising stars, dude. Like those guys, Shaq's team, right? LeBron, Curry, Kevin Durant, those guys don't want to get embarrassed by those young guys. Like
I understand.
It would, because they would be embarrassing. Like it would be embarrassing, and they don't want that. Real quick, it's a Live Nation Ticket Thursday here on 710 ESPN. Be caller number 7 right now at 877-710-ESPN for your chance to win 2 tickets to the Outlaw Music Festival. Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, Billy Strings, and Sierra Hall all live at the Hollywood Bowl on May 16th. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com, but you can win a couple right now at 877-710-ESPN. That's 877-710-3776. All right, Cappy, before we get to, are we doing Clinton? Oh, no, we're doing Big Deal or No Deal.
That's
and
right.
then maybe Yates is going to join us. And we're taking you up to a big basketball game tonight. USC women's basketball right here on 710 ESPN. They're taking on UCLA, 2 of the top teams in the country. Juju versus Lauren Betts, 2 of the best players in the country. It's going to be fun for sure. So make sure you check it out here on 710 ESPN beginning at 6:30. That's our tip-off. All right, but real quick, before we get to Big Deal or No Deal, Cappy, let's tell everybody about your home away from home at the East Central.
So here's the one thing I want to say about the East Central. Obviously, I've told you a million times that the East Central has the best location in downtown L.A., especially if you're going to come to a game. Could be a basketball game, could be a hockey game, could be a concert, obviously right across the street from Crypto.com. If you're coming down for the Grammy Museum, as an example, right across the street from the Grammy Museum. If you're coming down for any show from any of the theaters nearby, really great location. Plus, LA Live has all the restaurants and everything you want to do. So it is across Figueroa, the East Central Hotel. Biggest hotel rooms in all of downtown LA. The one thing I can tell you is this. I've been staying at the East Central for the last 3 years, and I've gotten to know all the people who work there. And the one thing I can tell you, what makes the East Central different is it's not a massive corporate hotel. It is a family-owned and operated with people that you know who are there, who care, that make you feel like you're at home. That's, to me, what makes the East Central special. But I will tell you this. Everybody has been jumping on board. Steve Mason said to me this week, hey, how do I get a room over at the East Central Hotel? So I hooked that up for him. When I think about Clinton Yates, Clinton is tonight saying, hey, man, I need a room. Hey, East Central's the place for you. So it seems like everybody at 710 has really started to get into the East Central. The biggest rooms, great contemporary furnishings. The Nixo Lounge, have a cocktail, have breakfast in the morning. The brand new gym, but really more than anything, even better than the fluffy towels, it's really all about the location. So if you need your room at the East Central Hotel, book online, eastcentralhotel.com. That's eastcentralhotel.com. The East Central Hotel in downtown L.A., entertainment's official address.
The city of champions just got even brighter.
From Slovenia, Luka Doncic.
Luka's rocking the purple and gold, teaming up with LeBron, the king himself.
Here comes LeBron, back the other way. LeBron down the middle. Another three. Good again!
And don't forget about Austin Reeves, ready to shine.
Stolen by Austin Reeves. Reeves to the rim. Slam dunk for a new career high.
Catch all the action, all the passion, all the drama, all the big shots.
Doncic dribbling one-on-one against Walker Kessler. Three-pointer over Kessler. It's good. Luka's first three is a Laker, and the place goes nuts.
Follow the Lake Show all season long as they look to make history. Luka, LeBron, and the Lake Show live here.
But how dangerous can this team be?
Very dangerous.
On 710 ESPN.
Hey, it's Mace. Did you know Goodwill Southern California is more than just amazing thrift finds? They're transforming lives with job training, career placement, and support services for veterans, youth, and individuals overcoming barriers to employment. Every donation and purchase fuels these life-changing programs. For more on how you can help, go to powerofwork.goodwillsocal.org. That's powerofwork.goodwillsocal.org. Brought to you by GSC Verizon Skill Forward.
Hey guys, it's Cap. Here's the scenario. Your home is flooded and the damage is severe. Now it feels like your insurance company is turning on you. They won't approve a replacement living arrangement, and the adjuster leaves you in the lurch. Take a breath and call Avner Gatt, one of Southern California's largest public adjuster firms. Avner Gatt knows how to fight back when your insurance company makes you feel like a criminal, leaving you with no hope of getting into your home and getting it all back together. With decades of experience and a passion for helping people, Avner and his family take the call themselves. So whether you have a toilet overflow, a broken water line, a burst supply line, a broken fire sprinkler, whatever the water damage is, you call Avner Gatt today at 818-917-5256, or you go to avnergatt.com. It's 818-917-5256 or avnergatt.com. You call, Avner answers, he says hello. Your claim is our game. avnergatt.com.
This February, the Genesis Invitational heads to Torrey Pines in San Diego. Be there when moments become legendary. The roars echo through the trees, and champions rise. The Genesis Invitational welcomes the world's best golfers, including Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Colin Morikawa, and more, to Torrey Pines February 13th through 16th for the Genesis Invitational. This is where legends are made. Get your tickets today at genesisinvitational.com.
Hey, it's Cap. Is it time to downsize? Selling your home doesn't have to be a hassle. Not with Seller's Advantage. You can skip the agents, commissions, and costly repairs. By the time you pay for repairs and agent fees, you could have already sold your home for a fair, competitive price without the worry of the deal falling through. Here's what Chris Chavez, a real Seller's Advantage customer, had to say, and I quote, "Seller's Advantage was definitely the best company I've worked with. They offered me more than I expected, and the whole process was great. They were helpful, always answered the phone, and willing to help. I can't say enough about the experience. Much better than going through a realtor," end quote. Thank you, Chris. Get your free, no-obligation cash offer today. Call Seller's Advantage at 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-AS-IS, 888-397-2747, or visit sellersadvantage.com.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text HIM to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text HIM to 321-321. That's HIM to 321-321.
Sedano and Cap for your afternoon right now on 710 ESPN. It's 6:30 p.m. Big deal or no deal. Take it away, Sedano.
Thanks, Christopher. All right, Lindsay, you take it away.
Thanks, Sedano. All right, guys. So, you briefly mentioned Dirk Carr earlier today.
Dirk Carr.
Yes, infamous Saints quarterback. But maybe not. I don't know. Because earlier today, the Saints introduced their new head coach, Kellen Moore.
Mm-hmm.
And first, I'm going to play for you the owner of the Saints, who is
Mrs. Benson, is
yes,
that her name?
Yes.
Gail Benson.
Gail Benson. So she first, here's a quick little clip of her introducing their new head coach.
We wanted a coach that was exceptionally bright, creative, and most importantly, a tremendous leader. I believe that is exactly what we have in Ellen Moore.
Ellen Moore.
She called him Ellen Moore?
She called him Ellen Moore.
That, the K is silent, kind of like the G in lasagna.
That's a great callback.
Good job, Cappy. What was up
So
with that?
she did that, and then Kellen Moore, whatever you want to call him. He was asked multiple times about, okay, what's the situation with Derek Carr? He's your QB1, he's your starting quarterback, he's your guy, right? And this is basically the response that he gave every time he was asked that question.
I view it as Derek Carr is a tremendous starting quarterback in this league. We're fortunate to have him, and we're excited to go through this process, as we build this roster together.
Very non-committal there.
Not very, yeah. It
Very
doesn't sound like a
non-committal.
ringing endorsement.
Could have been with Jalen Hurts still.
So things obviously didn't go super swimmingly.
With a lot less money in his bank account, though.
Yeah, right. I'm going to stay with Jalen Hurts for $2 million a year rather than be the head coach for $8 million a year.
Same.
So, do you think that this whole situation and the fact that this press conference didn't go super smooth, is this a big deal or no deal? Cappy, you go first.
I'm going to say it's not a big deal. Look, press conferences a lot of times don't go well, especially for a first-time head coach. And the old lady Benson, she's kind of old already.
Old lady Benson.
Yeah, and so getting his name wrong by one letter, I'll cut her an ounce of a break. But
She has a great accent, by the way.
But I will just say this though: if you're Kellen Moore and you're a first-time head coach, the last thing you want to do is walk through the door with a washed-up Derek Carr as your quarterback. And hey, Derek, I love you, man. I appreciate the career you've had. You're not going to be in Canton, but you got a lot to be proud of, and you're going to be wealthy the rest of your life. But unfortunately, you got drafted by the wrong organization, the Raiders. You went through changes of coach after coach after coach, coordinator after coordinator after coordinator, moving the team from Oakland to Vegas, then being disrespected by them. And then since you've gone to New Orleans, it hasn't exactly worked out. If I'm Kellen Moore, Derek Carr's gone.
Yeah, I would agree. Derek Carr is a great backup quarterback at this stage of his career. Could he give you a big boost if your starter goes down? For sure. I would feel totally confident that he can win ball games. But I don't know if I would invest in Derek Carr as my full-time starter.
Right. If I were New England and I have a star up-and-coming quarterback, I'd want a
perfect.
Derek Carr behind him.
Yeah. Right. There's a role for that, for sure.
Derek Carr.
All right. No, not a big deal, though, for me. All right, what's next?
Okay. Next one here. So the nominations for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's class of 2024 are in, and here's the list. Mariah Carey, Fish, Outkast, Oasis, Billy Idol, Cyndi Lauper, Soundgarden, The White Stripes, Joe Cocker, Bad Company, Black Crowes, Chubby Checker, and Maná.
Oh, wow.
The inductees are going to be announced in late April, and then the ceremony is going to take place in L.A. later in the fall.
Oh, really?
Yes. This year they're having it here in L.A. So,
okay.
That's awesome.
Liam Gallagher, infamously one of the Oasis brothers, lead singers, was asked about it on Twitter, and he wrote, R&R Hall of Fame is for wankers. That's what they call it. Wankers.
It's very much a Ted Lasso kind of.
Very much. And another fan replied saying, well, what are you going to do if you win? And he said, obviously go and say it's the best thing ever. So the fact that he called the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I guess more so the list overall. This is a big deal or no deal. George, you go first.
I don't think it's.
Who do you think is getting in?
Give me the list one more time.
Mariah Carey. She's got to be in, right?
Yes, for sure.
Fish. I'm not familiar.
Yeah, I think Fish deserves to be in.
Okay. Outkast, the group, not just a singular person, Cappy.
No question.
Oasis, I think they'll get in.
Well, how many get in?
It's just whoever they vote.
No, there is no limit to it.
It's just you vote in or out. Yeah.
It could be as little as one or two, or it could be a lot of them.
All of them. Yeah. Billy Idol.
In.
Cyndi Lauper.
Cyndi Lauper, yes. Billy Idol, I guess. Yeah.
I would say Billy Idol's had way more hits than Cyndi Lauper.
But she was really like at the beginning of the revolution of women, like really hitting the pop.
I'm not down on Cyndi
charts.
Lauper. I'm just saying that Billy Idol's got a lot of hit songs.
Yeah, I get it. But I don't think he has the cultural relevancy that she has. We could disagree on that. That's fine. But I would not put an Oasis. But go ahead.
Soundgarden.
100%.
The White Stripes.
The grunge. Yeah, the '90s grunge era for sure.
White Stripes.
I don't really know the
I'm
White
not
Stripes
familiar
that
with
well.
the White Stripes.
Yeah, I don't really know them
You
that
definitely
well.
know the one song they play in all the stadiums.
Every
like,
arena plays it.
dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun.
Yeah, that's right. I'll tell you this, just on that list, like for me, I'm surprised Joe Cocker's not already in. I'm surprised Chubby Checker's not already in.
Those two, yes, I agree.
Bad Company, I'm also kind of surprised that they're not in. But here's one of my favorite bands in the world is nominated, and I didn't know they were nominated, the Black Crowes. They are one of my favorite bands. If you like Southern rock that's like hard rock combined with like some old school blues, that's the Black Crowes. So I'm all in on the Black Crowes going in.
Yeah. All right. That's Big Deal or No Deal each and every day. Who the hell knows? It's usually around like after 5:30. How about that?
Yeah.
Sometime between 5:30 and 6.
Yeah, even though we say on the thing, the intro 6:30, that's like old.
Anyway. Are we doing Clinton here, or are we not?
I have not heard back from Clinton yet, so he must be en route
that's fine.
to the game.
The big CY.
It's fine. It's fine because UCLA, USC, UCLA, women's hoops, big game. Lauren Betts, Juju Watkins, two of the best teams in the country.
6.
Yeah, two of the best teams in the country, two of the best players in the country will be coming up at 6:30. All right, Cappy. Actually, you know what?
Tell me.
Let's kind of lay it out. Let's talk a little bit about this Matthew Stafford situation because we're going to hear from Kirk Morrison at the top of the hour. So let's get into that a little bit here on 710 ESPN. But first, let's talk Prize Picks. Cappy, if you want action in the state of California, Prize Picks is the place to be. All you got to do is download the Prize Picks app, use the promo code Cappy, K-A-P-P-Y. Your first $5 play gets you a $50 bonus. You can win up to 1,000 times your money in as little as 4 picks. How do you make the picks? It's simple. There's a stat for each individual player in a bazillion different sports, including darts, okay? Like, it's not just basketball, football, baseball, hockey, whatever. Even darts, okay?
Yeah.
And it's as simple as picking more or less and combining those picks with different players across different sports or the same sports, if you'd like. And again, the more picks you make, the more you can win. And when you win that cash, you can get in as quick as 15 minutes. So, Cappy, what do you got going on?
Well, I want to tell everybody thank you. I really do. I got to say thank you to everybody who's listening right now because George and I ask you every day, download the Prize Picks app, use our code Cappy, K-A-P-P-Y. We encourage you to make that $5 play so you can get that $50 bonus. This morning, George, I met with the representatives from Prize Picks. And let me just tell you, as they reported to me, we are killing it. We are the #1 show in all of sports radio, all across the country. We have more downloads and more people playing Prize Picks that come from us than anybody else in the entire country. So to you guys, I want to give you your flowers. And today, Prize Picks wants to give you your flowers because when you go in the last night before the All-Star break, like I'll give you an example, George. Tonight, James Harden, Clippers playing at Utah, his more or less number would be 22.5, but they're giving him his flower, and they're giving it to you at 17.5 points. Take advantage before all these NBA games tip off tonight. Get your flowers on Prize Picks. What do you think about that?
I love it. Prize Picks. Run your game.
NextGen is the official AC heating, plumbing, and electrical company of SoCal sports fans. That's right. Is your heating and AC system ready to power through the season? From quick tune-ups to full replacements, NextGen has you covered. For a limited time, ESPN LA listeners can get a heating and AC tune-up for just $88. That's right. Stay in the game all season with an $88 heating and AC tune-up from NextGen. Call 833-3-NEXTGen today.
NEXGEN, call 833-3-NEXTGen.
ESPN LA and Beverly Hills Orthodontics are teaming up because we want to know who's smiling in SoCal. Go to ESPNLA.com and nominate who you think is making LA a better place. This can be a mentor, a teacher, a coach, a good Samaritan, a youngster who brightens your day. Tell us who's smiling and you could win some awesome prizes like sweet tickets from ESPN LA, Sonic Care electric toothbrushes, whitening treatment, and a grand prize of Invisalign from Beverly Hills Ortho. Enter now at ESPNLA.com and remember you're always smiling at Beverly Hills Orthodontics.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Now here's an important message from my friend, Jacob and Ronnie.
Wildfires can leave lasting scars on our families, our homes, our communities, and our peace of mind.
Navigating the recovery process is hard, but you don't have to do it alone. I'm Jacob Amrani, and my team and I are here to help ensure you're treated fairly and get the resources you need. Call us for a free consultation and let us help you rebuild with confidence.
Call Jacob.
When you switch and save with Progressive, you could use that money towards scoring courtside seats for your favorite team. Progressive cannot guarantee that you can score courtside seats. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds on average, but courtside seats can be astronomical. Maybe if your team plays in a smaller market, you could swing it. Even still, it's unlikely. Maybe fourth row, which are still incredible seats that you'll enjoy greatly. Savings possible. Courtside, long shot. Switch and see if you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Progressive cannot guarantee that someone really tall will not sit in front of you at the game, rendering your excellent seats just okay.
There are some things you wouldn't mind being stuck with, like a large unexpected inheritance. An always on the verge of death phone that has to be plugged in just right so it charges is not one of those things. Switch to Verizon and we'll pay off your old phone. Up to $800 via prepaid MasterCard so you can get a new one. Just trade in any phone from our top brands on any unlimited plan. With new line on My Plan. Additional terms apply for trade-in and pay off your phone offer. See Verizon.com for details.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold.
Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
A great lawn is like a great sports team. It takes expertise and a little extra care to really stand out. That's where True Green comes in. They're the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour, so they know a thing or two about keeping grass looking like a fairway. It's more affordable than you think, and they'll even match any competitor's price. Plus, True Green backs it all up with a satisfaction guarantee. Head to TrueGreen.com today. Let the pros do the work while you sit back and enjoy the results.
Sort of the final segment of the show, usually the final segment of the show, but the show will extend as we take you up to USC, UCLA women's hoops, number 1 versus number 6. Two of the best teams in the country, two of the best players in the country, and Juju Watkins and Lauren Betts. We got you covered tonight with the hoops, Jack.
Shockingly, speaking of hoops tonight, I'm watching Oklahoma City against Minnesota right now.
Yeah, this is a good game, Cappy.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, you got Shea, and Chet is back in the lineup for OKC. And then you've got, Ant-Man doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mateo's a big Ant-Man guy.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to watch this game. And I was telling Lindsay and DeAndre, I have this game. This is my first game right out of the break. They're playing again, these two teams in Minnesota, on Sunday night, the 23rd. I'll be doing that game with Mike Breen and Doris Burke. So it's like perfect. I get to watch them right before the break,
Yeah.
and I think they only have one game before that game. So just good to kind of see them sized up against each other.
You know that you mentioned the date, the 23rd. That's a Sunday. It's not this Sunday. It's the next Sunday.
Right.
I'm going to go to Las Vegas, George, and do the Rock and Roll Half Marathon.
Did you see this Ant-Man dunk on Chet
Oh,
Holmgren?
my God, dude.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, elevation, God,
he's so fun to watch.
It's awesome that you can see these two teams play, scout them out, and then watch.
And then have them in like a
broadcast the
week.
game.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool.
In like 10 days, I
know.
I can be like ready to roll. Yeah.
On that Sunday night, like I said, I'm going to be going to Vegas for the Rock and Roll Half Marathon.
Nice.
So all of a sudden,
now, are you doing this simply because you were like, you felt bad about the way you performed on the 10K?
No, I feel like the 10K that I did this past Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, was the first time I've run and I say run, that's not really what I mean. I mean walk a little bit faster than I normally do.
Yeah.
And way slower than I thought I could run. So I don't know. Everybody tells me that the Rock and Roll Half Marathon in Vegas is like the best, most fun running event that there is because of all the bands and all the performers, and they shut down the Strip. So you're actually on the Strip as the sun is setting and the city is lighting up. So heading up there, and while you're calling a basketball game, I will be slowly jogging a 10K, or maybe I'll do the full half marathon.
Yeah, well, Cappy, we'll see if this Matthew Stafford saga becomes a marathon for the Rams, because There's chatter that his brother-in-law's with the Giants. Maybe he goes to the Giants. Now, granted, he's under contract. But, look, we can talk about this a little more on the other side before Kirk Morrison stops through. But the reality is he's under contract. If you're the Rams, there's a number. There's a number I'm willing to go to with Matthew Stafford. If I'm them, this is how I would handle it. And if he's not willing to go to that number or play for that number, then I'm looking at my other options, whether that's Sam Darnold or whatnot as a stopgap and draft a quarterback. Because McVay, has shown that he can win with a lot of different quarterbacks.
He's also shown that even though Sean McVay is a younger coach, and he was very young when he took over, and now he's not even like the young guy quite anymore, but the business of football is heartless, meaning you cannot fall in love and be emotional about your assets.
Yeah.
If you're emotional about your assets, then guess what? You know what you do, George? You bring Cooper Kupp back and you say, hey, look, I mean, he's been injured in the last few years.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But I love him. He's so great. And I'm too emotional about Cooper Kupp. In football, like in all pro sports, frankly, you have to not fall in love and be emotional about your players because, yes, they're humans, but in the end, they're assets. And that's a tough way of looking at it, but that's the real way of looking at it in pro sports.
Right, it's a business. You learn the business. I mean, Dalton Knecht learned the business, right, recently, and he learned that lesson very early and quickly in his career. So, yeah, that's just the reality of it. But I wouldn't mind Sam Darnold if that's the option. If because again, Matthew Stafford's 37 years old, and I don't know how many more good years he's going to have left of good health. Particularly because I think the skill is certainly there. I'm more worried about the health aspect of it, if anything. That, to me, is kind of the bigger issue when it comes to Stafford. Yeah. So, anyway, all right, look, let's talk about more. Let's talk about this more on the other side, Cap, because Kirk Morrison's going to stop through. So we'll chat with him about Matthew Stafford and all this stuff. Don't forget, USC, UCLA, women's college hoops at 6:30. Number 1 versus number 6. I mean, this is the best women's college basketball game of the year. And it's Juju Watkins, Lauren Betts. We'll have that coming up at 6:30. Kirk Morrison coming up in just a moment, too.
Enjoy President's Day savings all month long at Carden Alleyway Hyundai. Lease a brand new 2025 Hyundai Santa Fe SE for just $299 a month plus tax for 36 months. Plus, enjoy peace of mind driving with America's best warranty and Hyundai Assurance Program. Carden Alleyway Hyundai, just off the 91 freeway, or visit CardenAlleyWayHyundai.com. $39.99 due at signing, 10,000 miles per year. Plus tax, license, $85 doc fee, and registration. No security deposit on approved HMF credit expires March 3rd, 2025.
Hey, it's Mace. Did you know Goodwill Southern California is more than just amazing thrift finds? They're transforming lives with job training, career placement, and support services for veterans, youth, and individuals overcoming barriers to employment. Every donation and purchase fuels these life-changing programs. For more on how you can help, go to powerofwork.goodwillsocal.org. That's powerofwork.goodwillsocal.org. Brought to you by GSC Verizon Skill Forward.
Hey, it's Bethel Duran. When you get into an auto collision and damage your vehicle, there's only one spot for you to call. That's my guy Leo at Active Collision. Experienced paint and body technicians will make your car look like it's brand new. You get a free estimate when you call 626-330-0100. They work with all insurance companies. Mention 710 and you get 50% off your insurance deductible. Call 626-330-0100, 626-330-0100, or visit ActiveCollisionRepair.com.
At Children's Hospital Los Angeles, we're a nationally recognized leader in pediatric care, honored by U.S. News and World Report as one of the best in the country. Here, we achieve amazing breakthroughs that change lives. From groundbreaking cancer therapies that offer new hope to young patients, to advanced heart procedures that save lives, we partner with families to conquer challenges and achieve extraordinary outcomes. Choose the best care for your child at chla.org.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
710 ESPN.
KSPN, Los Angeles.
A good karma brands radio station. This is Sedano and Cap for your afternoon drive.
Walks around like a little puppy dog.
On 710 ESPN.
It makes me dance.
Come on. Is
You
this a
gonna pop
little
and lock?
Debbie Deb?
You gonna pop and lock? No, it's
Oh,
Kendrick,
dude.
bro. He had this at the Super Bowl, remember?
No, but isn't that
No,
Debbie
Deb is
song?
right. He's remixing Debbie Deb.
Yeah, because, man, I'm telling you right now, early 90s, every city in America had a nightclub called Confetti, and I was in them.
Yeah.
I was in them, dude.
Yeah.
And Debbie
Yeah.
Deb was in there, too.
Pre-man bun.
Oh, yeah. Oh, pre-man bun for sure.
Yeah. Cappy, we're just talking about Matthew Stafford, and we'll talk to Kirk Morrison about Matthew Stafford. By the way, huge women's college basketball game right here on 710 ESPN. The game of the year, in my opinion. Number 1 versus number 6, USC versus UCLA. Juju Watkins, Lauren Betts. It is going to be a hell of a matchup. Okay, so you can listen to it all right here on 710 ESPN, and we'll have that for you here at the bottom of the hour at 6:30. Kirk Morrison is going to join us in a sec. But, Cappy, let's finish the Stafford part of it. What about the Kelly Stafford part of this, though? Like, and just how we've heard, like, some of the stuff on her podcast, and now she's got this picture of the blurry picture of them and their quote-unquote blurry future and this passive-aggressive stuff. Like, NFL teams as well as anyone, Cappy. They can't be loving that stuff.
I had somebody tell me, this is not confirmed, okay? Don't aggregate me. Even though I kind of want to be aggregated. I actually want
You
desperately.
totally want to be aggregated.
I would love to be aggregated.
Yeah.
If somebody would aggregate me, I would love that. But somebody who works at the Rams had told me this story, that last year when Stafford's contract was happening, that Kelly Stafford, and listen, maybe you say, hey, good, she has her husband's back. Maybe that's the way you look at things. That she actually called team ownership to talk to them about the contract. Like, you're a quarterback, you got a big-time agent, your agent deals with the general manager. That's the way things work. Your wife calling the owner, if it's true, that's not a good thing. And so I'll just say this. I felt like Sean McVay, from the minute the season ended, was like, hey, I don't want to be dealing with this again. So I think that he kind of laid down the law. And I feel like when Kevin Demoff was on with us last week, I feel like just his whole tone when it came to Stafford didn't sound bullish. I will say this. If it's true that Kelly Stafford is calling team ownership to talk about the contract, at some point you're like, I can't deal with this anymore.
Yeah, look, when we heard what Kevin Demoff said, it sounded like he was, non-committal is what I would say, that they would try to work this thing out, that they were certainly, they were clearly, reverential towards him in regards to what he's been able to accomplish with this franchise when he spoke to you, and understandably so. He helped them win a Super Bowl, and they won this together. But I think it feels like, with the Kelly Stafford part of this, that just doesn't help matters in this case. And if you're the Rams, you want to try to do this. You want to do right by him, but you also have to do right by your organization. And I think that, to me, is the most important part of this if you're the Rams.
Yeah, and I will just say this, George. I think for the most part, was that your out cue?
Yeah, we gotta go.
How would I know that was your out cue? How was I supposed to know that?
Because Lindsay told us.
No, she did not tell us that.
Yes, she did.
Lindsay, you told me that George was going to say those exact words, and that was the out cue?
No, she
but
said
the
the
time.
time.
Oh, well, shoot. Go ahead, play it.
Let's talk about Matthew Stafford while Kirk comes on. So here are my thoughts, okay?
Let me hear.
I'm not breaking the bank for Matthew Stafford at this
Agreed.
stage, okay?
Agreed.
I'm
Check.
not. And the reason being is, okay, forget the ancillary stuff, right? Like, about, like, the stuff with his wife and the podcast and all the passive-aggressive stuff that she potentially puts out there or whatever.
What do you mean
let's not, well, I'm saying even moving forward, potentially, is what I'm saying. So let's not even do that, okay? I just think that at 37 years old, there is going to eventually be a decline, right? Like, you have to bet against that, especially when a guy has had that many injuries in his career. So if he doesn't negotiate to the number that I'm comfortable with, if I'm the Rams, this is my plan. I'm signing Sam Darnold for a short-term deal, 2 or 3 years, whatever it is, and I'm drafting my next quarterback in that window. And I'm grooming that quarterback. Maybe I draft more than one quarterback over the next couple of years and just see kind of what pops, right? Like when Washington did it with RG3 and Kirk Cousins. So that would be my alternative if Matthew Stafford doesn't come in on the number that I would be satisfied with if I were the Rams organization. And that's not anything other than business. Now let's bring in Kirk Morrison, who's going to talk business with us. Kirk Morrison, what do you think of my plan there?
I got the tail end of it, and I think that you said something to which that you're going to negotiate with Matthew Stafford. And if
right, I got a number. I got a number in mind. Right, I got a number in mind. If he does not fit within that number, if he doesn't want to agree to that